where they contrast a lot. But I think stylistically, they're actually fairly similar. Both teams like to play a default heavy style, right? Just believing their players take map control, come up with late round finishes. And I think the problem Gambit is going to have is they haven't impressed during the LAN period, right? And that's why they're not going to get any respect from Liquid. You know, someone like Stu is not going to care how great this year has been for Hobbit, Shiro, and Exile. He's still going to get in their face and make them do it on LAN to him now, right? So that's going to be a very interesting dynamic because Gambit does have the skill, they have the plays, you know, they can punish them, but you have to do it, you have to earn that respect.
Yeah, and that's what I've really loved about witnessing Liquid coming back on LAN as well. They don't take any prisoners, they don't really care who they're facing up against, and I think that's going to be an interesting dynamic when we're going up against Gambit, or when they're going up against Gambit, rather. And the kind of experience and the skill that they're putting into things coming from a slightly different trajectory than Liquid.
That's the thing about Liquid. I feel when they're playing with no pressure, when you allow these players to feel free, you know, free of any responsibilities and maybe free of any, you know, having necessarily to listen to an in-game leader, having to necessarily listen to a game plan. Look at a guy like Stu 2K right now. I'm sure there's fundamentals, there's of course ideas, but he's feeling way more free on the server. You see him take more chances, you see him take more initiative, and he's playing better than he's done the past 2 years. So I think Liquid right now is in this state of mind where they can't lose, right? Every time they join the server, unless they go down 16-0, 16-0, it's a victory for them. And that, you know, whole mentality where you can just do whatever you do the best on the server, it's super, super dangerous because of the experience and because of the individual skill they possess.
And it's been really interesting to see in terms of one of those individuals, Naf, just continuing to be incredibly consistent as a player, even though we know that this team isn't going forward together as a squad, but we have heard that he's going to be staying on the side of Liquid.
Yeah, he just looks also awesome, right, from the outside in a sense of a player that he doesn't really get phased too much about what's going on, doesn't get too emotional in a negative way or in a positive way, really. So he's just there, you know, just focused on the task at hand and just playing really well, really good at closing out rounds, finishing, clutching, right, and all that stuff. And yeah, I think he's a massive part of Team Liquid.
Yeah, he's kind of the epitome of that attitude that we're saying that they just don't give a damn. Like, you just never really see Nav getting frustrated or, as Janko said, you know, looking phased in these situations.
I think you said it pretty well yesterday or something about that, you know, with the fist pumping. You know, you always get the same amount of, you know, power in the fist pump from Nav, whether you do a 1v5 or you lose
get
one. It's just the same all over the time. So for Nav to be within Liquid, that's a good thing, but also for Liquid to have secured Nav for the next 2 years, he re-signed a contract. That's a sign that Liquid at least is serious about the CSGO division for next year as well.
Yeah, I mean, coming up against Gambit, how do you see this kind of playing out for Liquid? Because we've been focusing a lot on the individuals, a lot on the experience. Of course, we've prefaced this as that's quite a different situation for the side of Gambit. So how are you comparing these teams, you know, stylistically? You're saying there are similarities.
Yeah, I think for Liquid, they're not going to change anything. They're not really going to care about who they play and who's on the other side. They're just going to stick to their game, and it comes down to whether really Gambit can stop them from doing what they do best, and if they can prevent them from taking advantages, and how are they going to approach, especially in the 3v3s, 4v4s, when the round breaks down a little bit. Will Gambit still have the composure that they've shown previously, right? Or is that where Liquid is actually going to be able to outplay them?
Well, before we find out how exactly it's going to go down, we do have Fallen with a few thoughts.
And Gambit today, right? Very different team to Na'Vi in terms of style and how they play it out here. How do you think this works in your favor? Is there something you've seen where you can go, okay, you can take advantage of it?
Gambit's a very tough team, to be honest. I think they're as tough as Na'Vi, you know, a little bit.
Okay.
They are. They're just very tough. I mean, I think some of their players are the best players in the world at the moment this year. And, you know, they know how to play the game. They're very controlled on their decisions. They know how to play a slow-paced game as well. It's a very tough team to be playing against. But, you know, we can play good CS too, so I'm hoping we can show a good show today.
And how much is this LAN experience going to be a factor in it?
You never know. I think they have some experienced players as well from the past. Some of the other guys are a little bit younger. But, you know, once you reach this level and you get this comfortable with the team as they are right now, I don't think it really changed much for them. It's more about who's going to be playing better CS, actually.
Interesting. Well, let's see who plays the better CS. Gabriel, thank you very much.
Fallen certainly giving some respect to Gambit coming into this one, but we've got to find out how the picks and bans are going down. Any thoughts?
Yeah, listen, I got Team Liquid here, but actually for the upset, but actually looking at the map pool, like it overlaps way too much in the favor of Gambit, really, right? So what yeah, Liquid goes for the Inferno pick. I was thinking, you know, Overpass, they're undefeated on it. They can go for it still, but we all know, like, that's Gambit's map for a very long time. They only lost it to Na'Vi once and Entropic in the last 3 months, and yeah, Gambit just goes for vertigo, their staple in 2021, really.
Yeah, I kind of feel sorry for Liquid as well when it comes to the map pool. There's no way for them to disturb the map pool, though. That being said, you know, Overpass as a third deciding map, I do feel Liquid will feel comfortable coming into that one. Of course, they never lose on the map. They took down Na'Vi as well. And if you're Gambit, this is a clear sign to me that they feel confident, right? You're allowing Team Liquid to play on their best map, but you do believe that you are the better team, so you don't really care.
And you also see that, you know, you look at the punish would probably be Dust 2. Obviously, Liquid isn't comfortable on it. Second one, maybe Mirage, but they're going with Inferno because of, you know, how the game went against Na'Vi. They played really extremely well on that map. And that's a good sign if you're a Liquid fan, because it gives you confidence that they're just looking at themselves and what they're good on instead of trying, like, overthinking it to just make Gambit uncomfortable.
Yeah, let's go back to that particular matchup versus Na'Vi. What exactly were you seeing from Liquid that you felt like was a real strength coming up, particularly in that map?
I mean, everything, to be completely honest. It was a very, very well-rounded team. You know, everyone contributed, and I think that's one of the problems I've had with Team Liquid for quite some time, that when you see NAF play well, there's a case to be made that you have Grim and Fallen not producing enough on the server, so you'll have some weak links spread over the map, but the CT sides of Liquid have been looking good. I think NAF is in a great form. I think Elise is in a great form, and I think Grim and Fallen is also playing better than we've seen for some time. So there's no weak link in Liquid right now, and that's a strength for them, because that's been the problem for me, at least for quite some time.
I think they mixed it up extremely well. Like, they were getting really good reads on Na'Vi. They were getting opening kills a lot of times because they would, you know, either do an apps setup. Then next round they would be a little bit more aggressive in Banana. Then they would maybe, you know, push someone down mid. And it's not even always at the start of the round. Sometimes it's in the mid round. And we've heard also Navs talk in interviews, and we know that Stewie is the Banana guy even on TCT side, right? So it's very important, and he's really good at just also, after watching a little bit of his opponents, but instinctively realizing what their plan is for that and how to counter it. And that's just such a crucial part of the map. When you can get that nailed down, it just makes it easier to play both sides, really.
Yeah, I like that you bring that up, because I know Naf said recently in the HLTV interview that he feels like him and Stewie are the best, you know, B defensive players on the side of Inferno. And I mean, we're looking at those statistics from that game against Na'Vi, and it kind of does paint that picture of them looking really good on that CT side.
For sure. I'm just looking at the opening kills, right? Those two combined went for 9 opening duels and won 8 of those, you know. So they were shutting down Banana. They were playing aggressive, and they were finding success against Na'Vi. The thing is that if you're Gambit right now, you're of course looking out for that. You're watching the demo and you're trying to make a plan to counter that. And I don't know. I don't know what to believe when it comes to Gambit. I think they are a very well-rounded team as well, and I think they're a smart bunch of guys. But at LAN, they're just missing that large percentage, which makes me believe that this is a 50-50 game, or at least a game that could go down the wire.
I think Fallen said it best in the interview. You know, like, teams have their own styles. They're both similar, and it's just going to come down to who executes better on the day, really.
Well, we're going to see exactly how it goes down, as Inferno is the first stop in this best of 3 series. Liquid hoping to continue bringing the surprises, bringing the pain, and they're going to have to bring it to Gambit. We're getting into it with Connor and Mo after this.
The dead team of Liquid surprised and stunned the best team in the world in Na'Vi.
It's now 10 seconds on the clock. Oh, nice flick from Fall, and then he gets the shot on Perfecto. Absolutely beautiful work.
But now they go up against the Titans of Gambit, who are looking to prove themselves at another LAN event. Can they get the job done? We're about to find out.
That's going to allow for Nafany to just stop the bomb. 8 seconds, a second. Nafany, he's got it. Hobbit also in, and it's a slip through from Nafany.
I'm down here on the floor, ready with the players as they're getting themselves warmed up and ready for this matchup. We got Gambit taking on Liquid. I got Hobbit, who Hobbit, come stand up with me, man. I can't make you that look small, you know. You were doing some warm up, and you were using the auto shotgun. Did you need to be prepared for everything?
Yeah, I have some secrets.
There we go. Some sort of special tactics, I'm guessing, with this one. But Liquid, right? They already took down Na'Vi coming up into this. I was looking forward to a Na'Vi Gambit matchup coming into this. So, are you a little bit scared of Liquid, or do you think it's going to be an easy one?
I'm scared.
Really, Hobbit? You're scared?
Yes.
Oh, no. You can't be scared of them. They're just some loud Americans, you know? It's easy.
You know, it's gonna be a hard one.
You're not filling me with confidence. Come on, what are you going to tell the Gambit fans? Surely you feel good coming up into this game, mate.
Okay, guys, we're gonna do some damage.
That's it. That's all we're going to get. Hobbit's just having too much fun with me. Hobbit, you go get yourself ready. Go sit down. I'm going to move over to Liquid. They might give you some more in this one. Hobbit there is, he's trying to play mind games with me by the looks of it, on top of everyone else. But we come over to Liquid side of things, and I want to find Stewie, of all people. He's already turned around. There's Stu. He's getting himself ready. Come on with me, Stu. How you doing, mate? How you feeling?
I'm doing good. How you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good. I'm interested to see if you got any words for Moses. You know, he actually picked you this time.
Oh, really? I said I'm going to prove his predictions wrong. I'm still going to prove it wrong.
Okay, I'm not sure what I should think about that. So you're going to lose just to upset Moses some more.
No, I'm just playing. We're going to try our best today. We're going to try our best to play our A game and see how we do individually.
And how do we get that Liquid that we saw that took down Na'Vi? Is there something you guys need to do together, or is it, again, you're just getting in the zone, getting in the right feeling?
I think everyone has their own little routine. I think we're feeling pretty good, honestly, going to the match. We're just looking for a fun series, a close series, and hopefully we come out on top.
And what would you say your biggest advantage over Gambit's going to be in this one?
We have nothing to lose. They got everything to lose.
I love it. That's how we're going to end it. That's how we're going to see it go down. So you go take your seat, get yourself ready for this game. We're about to get into Liquid taking on Gambit.
So, Liquid with nothing to lose. A dangerous team, Liquid.
They could lose DN.
They could lose what?
These nuts.
Oh my god. This guy's a fucking clown.
This guy's not feeling well today, so I'm here to make him feel worse.
Yeah, I was like getting into the cab. I was like, yeah, man, I don't know. I'm still feeling a little, you know, I'm feeling a little. And he's like, it's all right. We've got 2 best of 3s today. I'm like, oh, dude. I'm like, okay, Launders, you know, we've cast in worse situations. He looks at me and goes, no, we haven't. And yet here we are, okay? I feel good, man, because we've got at least some decent CS ahead of us. We've got Gambit, Team Liquid. Team Liquid, one of the dead teams, just like Vitality. And I thought that those 2 dead teams were different. But with a victory over top of Na'Vi, what is this? What is this Team Liquid?
The last time they played against Gambit, too, they played close. I mean, they lost the best of 3 overall, but it went the distance on 3 maps. So I feel like, that at least in terms of how they feel just team to team stylistically, I feel like they might be happy to play Gambit, even though it's slightly favored Gambit matchup. But we got to take them seriously as long as they're still winning. I mean, even if they don't take themselves seriously, they're still winning. So I mean, I can't explain it. You know, I mean, I feel like you know, when you're playing, you have some kind of expectation about how well you're gonna do, and then you go into the match and if you have any doubt in yourself, you'll lose to the team that's way more ready than you or whatever. But Team Liquid, they won versus Na'Vi on LAN. They've been playing really, really good CS recently. Yeah. I don't know what to say. I mean, it's crazy, man. It's so nuts. You know, it could be kind of that boom bust cycle of the fact that you put in so much effort, so much work, so much stress, and then you give up. Yeah, they actually went through the pattern of like giving up and going through almost those few stages of grief. Yeah. And then that time off, I mean, all that work they put in, it still existed. They still remember it. And maybe it was just stress that was the biggest issue. And now that that's been alleviated a little bit, again, a bit more of that freedom is maybe what they needed. And it was one of those situations. I mean, they took their car to the auto shop, took it to another one, took it to another one. They couldn't figure out what was wrong with the car. There was a problem there. and all he needed was a break. I mean, I don't know if the analogy goes here,
I was
but
gonna say, this guy doesn't
I
have
was
a
like, they found
license.
some sick mechanics. No, they have pretty much the same stuff, but it just needed a rest.
Yeah, I think what happens is, the car is done, okay? So now it's just pedal to the metal, burn the engine before it goes, right? This car is falling off a cliff. You better hit it at 200 miles an hour.
Damn.
And maybe that's where they're at, because, listen, we're going into Inferno to start this series. This was the map that Team Liquid, on an individual level, looked phenomenal compared to Na'Vi. This was the map where Na'Vi, each of their players, posted a negative rating. And you once told me that Bit doesn't have bad events, but he had a bad map.
Mad map, yeah.
And so did Simple.
It's fine.
What was that Hawkeye stat? Something like 20 plus 20, some crazy ridiculous list of like positive ratings coming out of Simple. And then the one that fell flattest was this game on Inferno specifically versus Liquid to start the event.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, Na'Vi come right back from that loss, look way better already. You know, now they're beginning their lower bracket run. But we look to Gambit. Okay, the first 2 teams eliminated from the event are the 2 teams fielding stand-ins. Unfortunate, but as it should be. Now we look to the dead rosters to also falter.
Yeah.
But Vitality doesn't do that, so it seems. You know, they're out there winning events, and Team Liquid have Navi's scalp on their front door. So as Gambit come knocking tonight, it's kind of sketchy. And
I think 2 similarities there is you got Kyojin on Vitality, right? And it felt like Kyojin, he put in so much work to try to get better in his spots and stuff like that, but he couldn't relax and focus on his crosshair. And now he is hitting shots. I mean, his upper nuke holds, which was the focal point, I think, of the conversation with him, those got better. And the same can be said for Grim. It feels like we're Grim with no pressure or less pressure is playing the CS that they hired him to play.
Yeah.
You know, back when he was that super promising star, we're starting to see glimpses of it now. So just see how long they can carry this momentum forward. There's a lot of money on the line. They're here. They took down the best team at the tournament in the first round. Sky's the limit.
nothing to lose. That's what Stewie says coming into this. But speak of the devil, and he'll deliver. Blinded, Shiro's headshot connects. Axile able to trade it, but it's a fast one, man. Team Liquid gonna just, again, put that pedal to the metal. Try to challenge around on short. Axile cleared off box. Now enters, could have waited, decides to get aggressive. 3v3, bomb planted. And they're gonna find Nafly trying to get himself off this site. I was gonna say crucial 1v1 happening down towards middle. Stewie actually gets the aggression going. And Grim wins his fight as well. So Hobbit, who said he was scared coming into this match, has a reason to be. Liquid with a pistol round win.
I am Canadian, and so is Nafly, and
yeah.
Team Liquid North American representation. And
okay.
I just feel really good about that pistol round.
Sure.
That's what I'd like to say.
You're allowed to be. Nafly, speaking of him, right? Coming into the event, I believe Media Day, says, kind of inspired by Vitality, in my opinion. It's like, I would love to win an event with this roster.
Yeah.
And most importantly, for Grim. You know, we saw Apex after they were able to be victorious at IEM Winter say, like, it was actually meaningful for this roster to get some kind of a trophy lift. You know, all the work, whatever, in this beautiful blaze of glory that they're going down in, we're able to have that trophy lift. Think about how sick it would be for Liquid if they can do the same.
And I would be more doubtful if, like, you know, because when you actually start to get closer to the finish line in that situation, you're thinking, okay, now it's real. Now the pressure's back on, we're too good. But then that's when you can start losing. But we saw Vitality at IEM Winter just pull out the whole thing. That's the craziest part. It wasn't just a deep run.
Yeah.
So,
of course, Na'Vi not there to stop them like they were at the fall finals. So that's coming into this one, you know, Na'Vi's back. And they weren't their best. That's the coolest part of it all, right? Is like there was this one other event in IEM Winter to kind of, you know, everybody else duke it out for number 2. And now come at the Kings. Shoot for the throat. And Liquid did it, of all teams.
when we look back on the past year, I mean, there haven't been that many LANs, you know, so this one is actually, it's going to be quite a weighty one in some sense when it comes to looking at all these rosters, despite all the, you know, great results throughout the whole year. This is one of the very few LANs that we've got in total.
It is great to be back. I'm going to say it. You know, we don't have the crowd that we did at Fall Finals or in Stockholm, but the reactions that we had between Nip and Astralis earlier today, you know, at least just having players, they bring that passion, that energy, and it just leaks through, I think, everything. The rest of the studio, everybody else kind of feels pumped up by it.
Oh, yeah, people don't know what we were in the green room, which is pretty far away from the players, and I could almost understand Danish by how loud Glaive was yelling. I swear, every part of every word I could hear it. He was yelling so loud in the building, so it comes across even crazier in person. And that energy is so good. It was crazy, but it was more like a mad, you know, it was a mad yelling.
Yeah.
It was,
There was that one Bloodlust where he missed like 4 op shots in the round.
Yeah.
And they still were able to pull it out.
Mm-hmm.
That felt like pain and misery and also celebration all wrapped up in one.
Yeah.
I don't know what we call that, but I can get behind it.
That was like that's when someone cuts off your leg to save your life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Now
you're like
analogy.
a pirate or something, and you have to go through that pain, but it's for good.
Yarg.
Exactly.
Losing me limbs to scurvy.
Is that what happens? Do your toes fall off and stuff?
I don't know, but they
Eat
definitely
your oranges.
They needed more citrus.
Yeah.
So do that. All right. 2-0, of course, for Liquid, having converted that last one and setting themselves up to do the exact same thing here round 3.
Oh, they're doing a surprise party on the A site. Whose birthday is it?
Who was it recently? I believe Hampus recently had a birthday.
Oh yeah,
just
Happy
before
birthday.
Media Day.
Happy birthday, Hampus.
A little belated.
We're all big fans of Hampus.
Yeah, he's got a Swedish trolley energy. I can get behind that. Elige, doesn't check behind the pillar. The column turns into a coffin. But it's okay for Liquid because they're just going to push into this empty B bomb site. So that's stack up, the surprise party, as you put it. Well, nobody showed up.
That happens sometimes, right? Or you think you have friends, and then everyone agrees to come, but they all think other people are going to come.
Yep.
And then you're just sitting there in your orange, brand new birthday clothing in the middle of Chuck E. Cheese, and
This sounds real.
you're just playing like the skee ball by yourself. You print some tickets and turn around, and no one to share
Nobody
the
there.
moment with. Yeah, just your mom.
Such a betrayal. Ooh, fallen headshot, be Nafany. Come on, a couple more. Feed that Mac 10. You know, it's an awful feeling when you think you have friends and then they hit you with the D's nuts right as the broadcast starts.
Actually, that just means I'm a real friend, actually.
That's fair. Yeah. Axile looking for a second down at the bottom of Banana, but not going to happen. So 3 move forward from Liquid, just as many rounds as they have survivors in this one. Now the game begins. Gambit on the buy-up.
I disagree. I think this is the game over already.
Okay, settle down, Mr. NA. So yeah, let's see. So Moses switched his prediction. Nobody predicted Liquid versus Navi. Understandably, let's be real. Every single Liquid player walked by the green room,
Yeah,
which
but
has
Moses
like little
is
windows.
still a traitor, and we should always bully him for it.
Damn, dude, that's savage. But then he swapped, okay? He switched. He got bullied by Team Liquid. Every single player walked by the green room and kind of peeked their heads in the window. So what the hell, Moses?
Stewie literally just walked by and said, "I'm going to prove your prediction wrong" to Moses. But Moses predicted
Liquid. Yeah. As did you.
Yes.
So it looks like you've gotten back on this ship.
Yeah, that
Talk me through it, man. Why are they going to beat Gambit?
Dude, I mean, okay, I'll put it this way. They're good enough.
That is fair.
They're good enough.
That I will not argue.
That, I'll say they're good enough, and they're playing really well, and they're good enough. All the other circumstances don't seem to matter right now, so I'm not going to think too hard about it.
Okay.
Same could be said at the fall final. They put up some great series there as well, and it didn't really make sense at the time. It's like, you know.
Do you think there's a little bit of a trickle-down effect, having seen Vitality's success? Now you can kind of like believe a little bit more in Liquid?
Sometimes it's the Roger Bannister 4-minute mile or whatever it is.
I have no clue what that is.
Or yeah, something like that. Where once he broke that record and set the first 4-minute mile, then people started getting it might have been 4 minutes, I can't remember. But then everybody started breaking the record because they saw one person do it, you know?
Okay.
Once you see it's possible. Okay. I always thought about this. I was like, what if you put like a Strauss 2018 back in 2013? I personally feel like the gap would be bridged within like 2 years as opposed to whatever 6 years while they're winning a lot and stuff like that. So or 5 years, I should say.
Well, nobody can time travel yet, Launders, so...
And if they ever could, we would have found them already, so it probably is never going to happen.
Damn. It's dire. Hobbit, his situation is as well. MP5, you know how I feel. 20 health, but seemingly an ability to still kill Stewie 2K. Sends him packing and then just immediately falls back. How does that happen? How does he manage with a measly SMG? I like it, the confidence to play on logs next to smoke like that.
You explain magnets, I'll explain that.
Oh, well, you can't. Additional damage done as well to multiple players of Liquid. So not a comfortable round coming in, and Fallen, of course, swinging the big green. crucial weaponry that he looks to take towards that B site as Elige also peeks into A.
Fallen's had some great rounds, but it's kind of like Glaive. Like, he's been a bit inconsistent where he's been really good in some, and not so hot. Shiro's going to be very consistent no matter what. So, he's very clearly the best op in the server, which should be a problem.
Looking like 2 to wrap around Arch. Enters. Oh my goodness.
Jesus, Grimathy.
He drops him down to 3 health, but Grim still just hits the clean headshot and then goes around through the smoke.
Dude, you can't lose your Arch player.
Elige is right there with him. Naf jumps down into the pit, kills Axile, and now we're talking man advantage, and Shiro, he just gets pulled between 2 directions.
Oh, what a beautiful split.
Liquid just wrap upon it.
Now, we all know the value of losing your Arch player in that situation, and it makes it so hard to focus on anything else, because all the spots you stand in that are OP to fight against lane and fight against halls, they're no longer available once you lose that. That's why we'll see setups where if you have 2 on site, one guy will be on the box on the right there called cold, and then one guy will be on the back site, and they'll try to crossfire and hold on to Arch and whatever. But in this situation, we had one in mini pit, which is particularly bad for this situation, and then one in the site with a op by himself. And he could sit behind the middle box and try to op Arch and just let Axel work by himself. But in that situation, they couldn't really coordinate and cover 2 things really easily. So that Arch def was everything. And it was in sick fashion that Grim got that kill too.
Holy hell. Naf as well, nicely done. Instead of jumping down on the long side of the balcony, which would have put him right into the crosshair of the pit player, decides to just, play on the side of the smoke, jump down and sideline him.
Yeah, that's another bit of movement. When you're jumping out of the hall, strafing into mini pit is a really big kind of entry path that's important to be able to nail. And sometimes if you miss it, you'll just lose. You actually lose the execute because of it. But he fit in there very nicely.
Slipped him the old bamboozler. 4-0 start. Gambit going to buy in with what they can, but obviously going to be limited in some utility.
Maybe Hobbit was genuinely scared.
I mean,
instead of just trolling.
Yeah, there's a little bit of both, but come on, man. You can't look at a team that just beat Navi convincingly, right? And not because Navi played horribly and not be a little nervous, but Hobbit, he's going to shake those nerves. 2 kills at the top of Banana, give him a 3rd. Fallen tries to come through and he gets shut down immediately. If there's been anything that's worked out, it was that MP5 play from Hobbit at the bottom of B. Now he's going to replicate it.
But Scrawny, I thought the MP5 was a bad gun.
It is a bad gun, Launders. You think it's good until you hit a 96 in 11, and you have to really question yourself. But this round he played with a Galil, which is definitely not a bad gun.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that was a very, very nice round there from Hobbit, of course, just punishing the smoke pushes that came out. Simple flash, even layered here.
Yeah.
Grim didn't look like he was blind, but maybe just ran out backwards.
A little delayed there in the one-man peaks, yeah?
Yeah, they could have gone. I actually don't know if they had a support flash for Grim to come out, but what it could have been is that he thought that the Hobbit was sitting tight in sandbags, and so if he swung out towards sandbags, maybe he'd be covered before he could be spotted. But that's impossible to know. No one can understand Grim.
Naphany's got him honed in though. Hobbit behind the wall. The plywood.
Semantics. I mean, plywood walls are still walls, right?
I suppose. Flash off the backboard. And as the smoke fades, the mid peaks come through. Arch still smoked off, so CT's going to keep it at 3.5 as we see one player leaning in that CT spawn.
Yeah, things will be slowed down a lot. Fallen talked about some of the troubles for Liquid on Inferno in particular, where he was talking about, the calling and how they have to pick sites and stuff like that, and how people are so quick to retake all the map control. You work so hard to grab on T side. So we should see this half be very stressed for Team Liquid, but so far so good. But actually, with that nade set that Naf threw, he's established control of both sides at mid. They can't retake, and they're actually not interested in it. And they haven't leaned quite yet. So their support flash from CT is going to be a little late.
It's Hobbit behind the pillar. Oh, Naphany tries to go through. Hobbit will trade it, but not able to get himself a multi-kill this time around. Elige answers back, and the B site falls to Team Liquid. Now,
oh, hold on.
No bomb plant.
Yeah, they're back in this.
A bit more time off of the clock because of that. Smoke also fades from Coffin, so sure enough, Inters, he's just going to challenge. And Hands busy from Fallen, but still he gets the headshot. And with the smoke still on CT Cross, it's Axile to push through. Naf answers, and he tries to lurk back. Shiro coming in with the off peak.
Oh, no way.
He finds him in the open.
Man, how does he, like, look like he's pre-firing that angle? Nafly is trying to take the offiest angle possible, and Shiro reads it perfectly. That's beautiful. I wonder if he just smoothed that angle out, or if it was a flick from him. From that perspective, it looks like he just straight up pre-fired, but I don't think it was. Shiro too sick with it, man. This was the nade to save the day from Inters. Nice supporting utility. And you can see on the entry, the flash from CT spawn was just a touch too late. So that means that Liquid were making good time. They got into the site, they got their trades. Still a very competitive round, though. I don't know. It's scary for the CT side to win like that these days.
For sure. Most certainly.
Yeah, that's a solid place to start. And yeah, to keep building on what Fallen was talking about, basically, you can work, you know, it's like you can do a million things right. You make one small mistake on T-side Inferno, and then the CTs will just win. They take one peek on Arch that time you left. They take one peek on lane with their Opper that one time. They overstack the right side, and all your work is for naught. So that can be the incredibly frustrating part. But in realizing that you have 4 rounds already, that you can take it slow in each of these following rounds. And again, for Liquid, it feels like it's just it's the mood that is actually a big thing for them.
Sure.
So as long as they can keep the mood good through some awkwardly lost rounds or tough losses, I think that's where the money's at. And who doesn't love cash?
Cash money. Guap.
Robert De Niro.
Axile phases out the smoke with the 2K and gets a... Oh. He gets away with it. I thought maybe Grim was going to overextend into him, but you can see Axile ready for that fight even on his retreat. Well played.
That's annoying. We saw Hunter make a play like that the other day.
Wait, there was a chance.
Last round was already
one.
Yeah, last round was already 4v5 in favor of Gambit, and Liquid almost brought that back.
Sure enough. So we'll give them the benefit of the doubt here in the 3v5. Is that what you're trying to say?
I'm not going to write them out, because last time that you called a round like this was over, the team who had 3 players won.
Oh, that's cool. Just throw him under the bus, Mo. Every step of the way.
Well, you're not feeling great today, so I figured it's the perfect time to strike.
Comedy is a great remedy, but this is no laughing matter. Gambit, double man advantage, and comfortable on this orange side. Wow. Grim's gonna die. Snaffity takes his head off, and that second player boosted up hasn't even been spotted here. So Fallen, yeah, tough decision to make. Do you go for the gamble peak? It's already the 5v2. You know the economy's kind of falling out beneath you. No, sir. Walk it back and save.
I think it's really easy for everyone to characterize Gambit as a slow-playing team, one that's super methodical and doesn't make any mistakes. But the reason that they won and the reason that they're good is because they can play mostly slow, but they know exactly when to press on the pain. And
sure.
I think that Axel in that round, when he walks down mid like this is the exact moment where you're like, okay, Gambit are a bit more multifaceted, right? They're not just a team that's playing all the particulars, sitting in sights, holding the perfect angles with the perfect flash tactics and stuff. They are willing to get crazy too. And that's between usually Axile, Hobbit, and Nafany most often. I think Hobbit on the T sides specifically is the X factor of the team when it comes to trying to find that 5v4 by himself. But Axel on the CT side, very comfortable making aggressive plays.
Last round, a highlight of it. 2 AK-47s for Liquid, saved in the previous round. A couple of bits of utility added in. Grim has armor. If one of those guns happens to fall, or if they get an entry that they can pick the weapon up. For a moment, Team Liquid had numbers leaning towards this A site over top of Gambit, but they will have that rotate over. It's going to be Nafany sitting on Arch side. Who's looking for the headshot here? Leading with the Deeg, Stewie 2K. Get a challenge.
They're playing a dangerous game, you know. They're giving up so much space.
Oh, big Big fan of that.
Wow.
Boost up.
Dude, this is, I mean, they let Arch open. There's 2 players in sight in almost the same positions as that previous round, but the bomb is leaning to B, man. What the hell?
What is happening here?
Oh, the rotations are coming out. Wow, this is a pretty brave call to make, but you got to respect it.
We got layers. Shiro's attention kind of turned towards CT spawn and the possibility of a wrap, but Hobbit also just focused forward.
I'm really I guess they didn't have the utility to smoke Arch.
No way. Hobbit. Oh, what? Fallen's going to barrel stuff it. Off peak from Shiro. How many more can he take down? 25 seconds, dropping his utility, and look at that damage. It's substantial versus Grim and Fallen.
And they can only smoke CT off.
Shiro flashing, but not peeking. He waits. Are his teammates even going to come? Or are they just going to let this one slip the way of Team Liquid?
Man, the HP's unconfirmed here. That HE was so good,
Fair,
but
fair.
They don't know about it. Wow. Well, that round is won, you know, heavily off of individual skill, but a very nice tactic. What in the hell? Is there a painting on that wall or something?
Oh, no. Don't. Okay. We're good.
Elijah's just like, what the?
Yeah. I feel like Fallen expected that Elige was holding that back corner.
It looked like he was looking at the wall.
He was, 100%.
Oh, he was?
He was just staring at it.
Oh, okay.
He's just staring at a wall, man.
Yeah. Wow.
Taking in the scenery.
I wish I could get that board in such a high-pressure situation.
Okay, that's a bit wonky. 2 kills in for Shiro, but this was the big one, man. Naf takes the boost. Nafany on the jiggle. And this could have been Hobbit's moment to shine, but instead Fallen with the point-blank AK slaughter.
Oh, he's just playing anti.
Yeah,
But
that needs Elige to be holding Coffin Peak.
yeah, well,
He's new box.
Well, it's either one. Either one can peek.
Okay.
Either one can peek. So, yeah, that was just a little funny because that player advantage and Fallen's in the open, so he could just hold it and then Elige could peek after anyways. Like, they both have that covered. It looks funny, but whoever told him to do that was a good prank.
Yeah, right. One for the road.
Yeah, one for the road.
So
that round is that opening tactic with Nafly and then
Elige. Oh, he's lining something up. Oh, just off the mark.
we've seen a great kill from there.
Yes, we have.
Yeah.
He's got wall bangs the other direction too. As
Yeah.
a CT, they're sick.
He'll follow you up the stairs.
Like a gremlin. Axile remains counter flash. Making a ruckus inside Boiler. That was a big round for Liquid to win. Don't forget, right? They come into it with the double AK, 3 pistol buy. Hanging on to a 5-round count on the T side of Inferno's decent enough already. I want them winning bonuses like that, but we hit the 40-second mark, and we've had a bit of wishy-washiness from Team Liquid across these rounds.
Mm-hmm. They're still making decent time, and you can see they feel like they have some kind of read on the setup, but they haven't peaked into mid 30 seconds, and this is where they need to make a decisive call. Yeah.
So at 25 they go.
Oh, it's good enough. They got him back off mid. Gambit have been very slow, but they haven't retaken bracket at all. So I think Liquid are calling a good game so far.
Ooh, but the Molotov gonna cause a bit of trouble. CT smoke goes down, 10 seconds. Shiro's gonna try to sprint back into position. Hobbit wins 2 as he drops Grim. Can't jump back, but there's just enough time.
Got him! Oh my god, he got him. He ended it. No way, Shiro. Let's go, baby. What a shot. I mean, it's punishment. It's punishment for Team Liquid taking that long. Few too many seconds.
Perfect lineup.
Even if they kill Hobbit, it's just so close. Like, for the fact that they already went through what they wanted to in mid, they needed to get moving. I don't know if they were waiting for a smoke, maybe? That's ridiculous.
That, man.
What is this?
What is this, dude? Yeah. Hobbit with the 2K. Shiro the smoke hit. Nafany peeking around the side of Banana Peak. Drops Fallen. Grim trades. 4v4.
I think you were onto something. That was a little bit of a slow. It was a little bit too slow.
A little too slow, huh?
A little too slow for what they got. They almost got away with it, but yeah, honestly, with the way Gambit are playing, I mean, I don't know. They had 1 round where Axel peaked down mid, but
yes.
Outside of that, they've been super slow, super passive. No retakes on brackets. 1 retake on top Banana, and I don't think it's been working that well.
No, they're definitely giving Liquid chances.
Yeah.
You think about that super close 1v1 that Shiro was able to kill Naf on Banana. That was a crucial clutch. This last round definitely could have gone the way of Liquid if they had 5 more seconds or just planted anywhere else. So no, Gambit are very much just kind of hanging on by the skin of their teeth in this CT side.
Yeah.
Enters. Ooh, challenged by the fire.
Man, there's no one to help him in pit, and they know he smoked it.
At all. Pops a flash above. This is another round where it's, you know, lesser weapons for Liquid, and yet they've still found openings. Inter's being hunted. Sure enough, Naf peeks him from atop, and again, what's up with Gambit?
That was a bad round. I mean, they're doing okay. It's one of those situations where you're like, let's pause for a second and see why they're doing this. But in this round, they have the player in CT spawn who was a liability in that previous time that Liquid wrapped towards A. They also had another round where they got an arch kill and then went back towards B because they thought Gambit were going to respond. But oftentimes, Liquid are getting something out of it, and Gambit are not responding at all. And in this situation, you know, if you see that smoke go up in Big Pit, you might think, oh, someone threw it for him. But they were already crossing into the site. They knew that he was in there, and it was just a matter of time before he died. I'm not exactly sure what... honestly, what Gambit expected to get out of that round. That wasn't very good.
I feel like...
And yesterday, Gambit were calling a great game, I'd say. They look good. Sure. They look solid.
They've had so many heavy aliens when the B commit comes through that it feels like, you know, maybe just a little bit of conditioning. Tried to get ahead of a B play instead and just read it wrong at the wrong time.
Some days when you're foggy, Inferno is just going to make you feel even worse because, you know, you've got to do... You gotta do tactics on one part of the map or another, but to get back something. And if you're super sick that day, you can do the full passive thing and gamble stack. But what stands out about this match is they're not even trying the gamble stacks, right? They're just floating in the 2-3 setups, and they're just also holding their passive angles. One of the stats that I thought would be cool to bring into CS would be a fog of war stat. How much map control? How much map control did you have throughout the game, and how much could you see throughout your half? And in this game, I feel like Gambit haven't seen much.
Well, let's do it. Skybox just got a new round of funding. Anders,
yeah,
I hope you're listening.
Let's go.
Give this man what he wants. You know, we talked about that one aggressive round from Axile on the mid smoke, but there was also the Hobbit MP5 one, and now Nafany tried to do something similar as Liquid just decide to change the tempo here. Great grenade damage. Gotta mention that. Primes 3 players for the plucking, and enters inside sight. Easy gap within that smoke. Oh, and he turns it around. 3 frags for Inters, gunning for the force. He's got it. And Team Liquid get shut down as they attempt to take the A site.
Oh, that's a big move, man. I feel like Inters, I feel like he's so humble, like the way he reacts to things, and there's so many other players on the team we talk about, but what a massive move by him just on a mechanical level. Beautiful stuff. Stayed on headshot level for Fallen. Took out Nafly as well. Moving and grooving. Well, gotta love that. I actually think the call from Liquid was sick because right after that pause, Gambit are trying to figure out what is going on. Why are we going so slow? Why are we letting all this stuff happen to us? So I think I would have called something similar. You know, here's time to take something fast while they're doubting themselves and try to snowball. But then they had Inters.
Just delivers. Shiro ready for the pop. Ooh, it's the frag grenade to get the kill, but the repeat is still his, and so's the follow-up later, Elige. Grim and Fallen left over. No bomb on their backs, so even with a Glock and a Deagle, this is even more desperate. Hobbit gets dinked up, and if Fallen had the bomb with this kill, he'd have something to work with, maybe some money, but he doesn't have it. So he's just going to need those frags, and obviously a difficult ask. Gambit have tied this game up. CT side now sitting at 6 rounds, as is Liquid on the offense. Easy anti-eco with the nade and op on Arch.
You can tell Shiro, I'm going to guess he plays Osu. Okay, look how precise that is. Not even a wallbang, barely could see Elige.
Was that a weeb thing?
It very much is a weeb thing, actually, yeah. Technically, you don't have to be a weeb to play Osu, but there is, in the Venn diagram, it's basically just a circle. You should try it.
I'm good.
Just like DDR with your mouse.
I'm good.
Scrawny doesn't like anime, but we're trying to get him to watch Made in Abyss.
Trying to make me watch a lot of stuff. Yeah. Okay, I'm an OG kind of guy. Dragon Ball Z and Yu-Gi-Oh!
What about Pokemans?
Nah.
Wow.
Can't get into that. You ever notice that in the world of Pokemon, there's no animals, and yet you see them eating meat? Yeah, think about that.
Jesus.
Just saying.
I didn't need to hear that right now.
Just saying. I don't know what Professor Oak is up to, but... Smokes down, Molotov. Oh, Grim tries to just challenge straight through. It's up and above from Nafany. 2 kills as he shuts down the attempt. They're still trying to fight tooth and nail, though, and they have got themselves within this bomb site. Hobbit peeks out and dies. Elige giving great cover to Fallen this time, and a 2v2. With health to the advantage of Gambit, the retake is needed. They've been in a similar spot.
There's an HE on Exile.
Where's he send it?
Oh, it was close. He kind of bowled it in.
Process of elimination. Nobody over towards New Box. Nobody behind oranges. It's going to be Fallen, close pit. And the dark peak from Elige. He's now trying to sprint over and enters with both.
Wow.
2 kills to his name. And Gambit, well, they're going to edge out that lead 7-6.
And you got to appreciate how properly Gambit pulled that retake off. They came in slow, but that second 8 Molotov, after they let the first one go, waited it out, saw no one was quad. They knew someone was on site. They got the emo one down, forced a double peek out, and Inters had a big advantage versus these players who are quite low in this situation. But beautiful 2K nonetheless. Could have very easily been traded, and the time could have come down. Another close loss. You could say these have been the death of Liquid. Another timeout will be called, though, and it seems like they're still very much fighting. I mean, look how close this match is overall. I really feel like if I was Liquid, I would be sensing an opportunity right now with the way that Gambit have been playing this map.
Sure.
It's not been amazing. So, but off the tack timeout, Groove was flapping his gums quite a bit. I think got everybody back in order, and I think they started to look a little bit more alive. But still, the firepower meter for Liquid, it feels like they're hitting more cool shots than Gambit are, for what it's worth.
Overall, yeah. I feel like Inters would have something to say.
Yeah,
about
true.
that.
Inters might be the best player on the server, though. You're right.
He's got something to say.
Yeah, Inters going crazy.
He'd pique his interest, but then he wouldn't actually say it because he's such a nice guy. He'd just keep it to himself.
Yeah.
Be like, you're allowed your opinion.
I would be calling a pause to talk about that 4K if no one saw it. It was still 5v5.
Tech9s and some tidbits of utility. That's what Liquid are working with here to try and keep the game tied at 7 each. They'll have guns in the final attempt. Careful, Nafany. Dangerous game to play. A warning shot. Oh, and a dinked op.
That's such a dangerous angle to hold.
The Tech9 drive-by in apartments.
That angle's very dangerous for an op because someone can peek from the right side and also shoot you through the wall and see your scope too.
Yep, for sure. Nafany gonna get peppered and chased down by Grim. The lineup's not good for Hobbit. Grim, double Tech9 entry on the B site.
Look at these entries, man. The firepower.
What is that?
It's insane.
Plant with it, and all of a sudden, Gambit, they've got to contemplate a save.
But we got to look at on these anti-eco rounds where Gambit are playing from. They're asking for this to happen constantly. Like they never have 3 in the right site.
Which is why now it's happened more than once.
Yeah, they die in the choke point. Gives no time for your rotators. Look how comfy Grim is now.
Gonna go for the construction peak.
Oh,
he dodged the first, but not the second. Great boost over Little Pit.
They're slowing him down.
Shiro sits on 1 HP. Naf looking to attack from the back.
Oh, he's gonna stop the op.
Oh, no, he's not. Shiro, whoa!
Wait,
Shiro clears
what?
it. There's still enough time. Oh, double tap from Stewie. Putting it the 2 in K. And he waits just long enough. He's got the round win. Clean sidearm plays. What a wacky round.
What is that? Those couple of headshots. That would have been such a tragic way to lose after 5v3 at the moment. The health bars were low, but that really collapsed. I almost thought that Gambit were going to try to walk away from that, but I think since it's the last round, next round, they're actually fine to buy anyway, so they gave it a shot. Ridiculous shots.
Oh, that's so nice.
I don't know what he said.
Yeah, and I speak English.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go, Liquid. 2 rounds like that. Keeping things interesting, at least on Inferno, before Gambit take over the series. That's my foreshadowing.
I like that.
Gonna eat the flash and the frag. Enters, gets checked, drops bomb, and Stewie's able to clear him. Now there's no repeat potential, but check out the pace of this flank around mid. Both Nafany and Hobbit. And there's a little bit of delay between the two, so they got a section off. Meanwhile, Axile just doing everything he has to within this A site.
Whoa,
and
somehow.
that's gonna turn them towards B. Now, will Elige go towards site, or is he just gonna stay and flirt around in CT spawn? Gambit understanding what is going down at the moment. Gap in the smoke, but that's the death of Nafany. And Hobbit doesn't want to fall victim to the same situation. Stewie 15 health, Elige on 62. And a 3v2 for Gambit on this final retake of their CT half.
They've got just enough utility and a health advantage.
Frag's actually used for construction. They're a little bit nervous that somebody's back there. Smoke into dark in case there's someone there, but Stewie plays ahead of it. Good damage versus Shiro. Now he's walking wounded. Axile gets tapped back. Stewie, 2K, and Elige looking to lock this one in for the lead. Liquid with a T-side to take them back. Those Tech-9 taps got the ball rolling, and Liquid end with a very slight edge.
The 2021 season for us, after picking up Fallen, I think that's when expectations went way higher for everybody.
I had a great relationship with Stewie as well because we played together on SK Gaming, on my BR.
So we needed a figure that can help us, that has experience, that has a voice, and we thought Fallen would be the perfect fit.
So I decided to join because of this challenge, playing a very high-level team and playing with Stewie again. That was very challenging for me.
The change was good. When we picked up Fallen, actually our first tournament, I think it was a Blast tournament, and we showed up pretty well. So as time went on, I think we just clashed a little bit and butt heads a little bit, and I think it's part of the process, but it's also coming down to an agreement, and not everything ends in all rainbows and sunshines.
I always felt that this team could have done much more things that it has actually done, and I feel like we did okay, you know, for the pieces we have in the team, it should have been better. To be able to create a Magic team that's going to be able to win tournaments consistently is something that requires a lot of specific things going your way at the same time, right? And I think on Team Liquid, a lot of things didn't go our way because of some behaviors, because of some things from the past. So, you know, a lot of things we had to deal with that in the end we didn't manage to do properly. And that's why I think we never really achieved our full potential as a roster, because if you look to the pieces we have, it could have done much better in my opinion. And you know, that's kind of the reasoning why we're probably going separate ways as well for next year.
I can't speak for Liquid for 2022, to be honest. Honestly, I think Liquid is a great team, great roster, great organization. So for them, I think they have something bright ahead of them. For me, I don't know what's to come yet. So the word on the street, everyone knows what the word on the street is. But for everyone out there, just stay tuned, keep following me. Maybe you guys will get some news soon. We have a lot of smart players, so we see a lot of things different, and we stand our ground when we think it's right. We've had a lot of good improvements throughout the year, and we just couldn't make that improvement steady. We always had something to set us back, something minor or major, and after that happens, we always find a way to improve.
And on Team Liquid, I felt like it could be one more piece of the puzzle, so it was very challenging to think like that as well. And besides that, I think a couple good wins here and there against good teams. I think we beat Navi pretty consistently this year, something that most of the teams couldn't do it. So we were up there playing with the big boys.
Navi has always been a good opponent for us, and we always play well against them. We truly think that if we met them in the Grand Slam run or anywhere else in the finals, we would have been a big threat to them. We could have taken them down, but we didn't get that opportunity, and that falls on us. So for us, we always wanted to compete against Navi and really showed that we can beat them, but I don't think we ever got the opportunity until this tournament.
Мы не играем по одному только, играете. Дефолт тебе.
Сайт, я выхожу на широкую.
Сайт.
Я пикаю двое.
Пикмет.
Deadline.
Чуть-чуть.
Yeah, 3, 2, 1.
Nice! Если бы еще одну забрал.
Nice, guys.
Хорош!
Good.
All right, we're talking a little shit today, huh?
Yeah, I like that.
I don't know if you guys caught it on broadcast, but right as that half ended, Stewie 2K gave him one. He said, I can feel the choke from here.
Yeah, wow. It's that reverse choke energy that Liquid now exuding onto others.
Right?
Wow.
They're contagious, Launders.
Wow.
They're contagious. Let's see if they can do it. Close on the CT side. Gotta remember, this is the map that Team Liquid were able to best Na'Vi.
Yeah, I mean, after what we saw in that first half, I don't feel too good about Gambit, I won't lie. But they still got 7. They still got 7.
Grim gets gushed up. Fallen trying to fight from behind box. Uh-oh, empty USP, but Naf and Elige with a headshot apiece, and Hobbit and Nafni take it back. 3 versus 2, despite the health low on Hobbit. Soon that smoke fades. Oh, the nade could have been on money, but just slightly off the mark. Stewie 2K kind of pressured here. He doesn't have the armor, but he does still have that smoke and flash. Maybe he sets up Elige for the headshots. We've got Gambit tucking 2 in the back of this bomb site. Nafany playing with it, just kind of peeking and baiting Stewie to the commitment. Oh, and there it goes. Popping from behind box. Gambit tie, 8 rounds each, taking T-side pistol.
Yeah, definitely feel like they need that energy right now. That was a good confidence win. And Nafany was Nafany's guys yelling on land when they started coming over to lands, but I think they've cooled off a bit. Try to bring back some of that online energy. And I don't mean that in like a defamatory way at all. I just mean like that was when they were playing their best CS, when that mood was exactly the same. So maybe they're trying to recreate some of that calmness, which worked for them. But I do feel like you got to have some kind of balance on the team, right? Some players that go off, some players that chill.
You know, my opinion was always that, you know, if Gambit were going to have some kind of a difficulty transitioning into the LAN phase, I always thought, you know, it was just going to be because when this team was at home, when we were in the thick of the online era, and everybody could just play as much Counter-Strike as they wanted from the comfort of their boot camps and whatever, Gambit were living in that team house for a super long time.
Yeah.
And we know that Groove obviously is able to implement, like, you know, all his advice and his systems. And I thought it was going to be the traveling and the time away from home and just no longer being in that perfect environment to play perfect Counter-Strike that could maybe catch up with Gambit. You know, studio environment, it's not necessarily nerves. It's just that you're at the hotel, you've got to play inside practice rooms, there's, you know, shuttle transport schedule. There's all of this real life stuff that I think can take back from just your ability to focus on Counter-Strike.
Yeah. That is, that's for sure true. And honestly, they handled the online thing so well, but hold on. There is an anti-eco going on, or anti-force up, I guess. But it's not looking too bad here for Team Liquid. That's a collateral. Inters is low now.
Fallen doing great work with the scout through library.
They still got 2-2 on sites, and there's not enough utility here, I think, for... Oh!
Okay. He was already wounded by Shiro, but Hobbit got a topple it. Grim, nice headshot, and he's ready for Hobbit.
Wow.
Deals more damage, but still 2v2.
Yeah, I saved him, but they're close up now, and they both have armor.
Both Naf and Stewie on the flank from mid. That means an apartment play from Stewie 2K.
I think this is the best call possible. They don't have any utility to really scale that easily, so they've got to hope for a mistake here.
And Shiro, he's got the cover of this box, so it's very much Stewie versus Hobbit down in pit. Naf's going to make contact with the player behind boxes first. That's what's looking likely. And just as he does, Stewie tries to join him, looking to play it synchronized, and instead Team Liquid dies. Gambit, 9-8 lead.
Hobbit saves the day, and he's had a fantastic year overall, and I think some of his most memorable maps have been on the T side, so I'm not surprised to see him take the initiative for the roster. And we talk about the land stuff. Of course, Hobbit is not a question in that regard. Holding a major for the organization already. Well, we got a pistol round, but I wanted to build on that a little bit and just say there was actually some envy from other rosters about the way that Gambit dealt with the online period, because they were super smart about making sure they had the same circumstances at all times. Yes. Whereas there were some other teams that were trying to go to boot camps, right? So they didn't have that complete home setup, which created a lot of variance. Like Na'Vi, for example, they would boot camp with 4 people and Simple would play from home. Yeah. I mean, those things can have an impact as well. So, you know, in terms of the approach from Gambit, they did it super sick, and yeah, we're very wise about that.
Just a quick scramble from Liquid, fighting with very little. So they'll just try to throw bodies at this A site as Gambit fight in, and there's 2 players very low from the start of it all. Elige will frag out versus Inter. Shiro trying to clear close. It's only Stewie 2K left, 1 HP and a dream But more important than his dream is the money in his back pocket. So he'll take that AK and walk away with it.
Simple passed him in earnings.
Did he?
But one of my, it was like the, you know
Has
how...
Bit passed him yet?
No. Stu is the highest earning player outside of Astralis and now Simple.
Surely Bit has to be the highest earning player in their first year of competitive play.
Yeah.
He's got to be, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. Because I guess Saiwu, he got, #1 of the rookie year, but they didn't win a major. So yeah,
we're talking money.
And that's also is the biggest major of all time in terms of prize pool. Got a cool milli off that. It was $1 million first, right? For first place? I have to look that up. I don't know how it was divvied up. I'm going to take a quick peek.
I just know it was an envious amount of money.
Yeah, it's a lot of money. Yeah, it was $1 million for first place. On top of that, sweet sticker capsule. Delectable.
We still deserve Brokey stickers.
We do, yeah, we do. All right, the full buy is in, and this is where it gets real for Liquid. Small lead for Gambit. Some questions about how they're feeling today, maybe, but they had a good enough first half, and now they're in the lead off that pistol. They're looking alive. What's the CT side have to offer? Those grenades, you just gotta pick. Do we think you're going logs? I think we're tucking pocket. Oh,
okay. Axile right at it. Down goes Stewie2K. We kind of talked about this Stewie2K Nafly setup over on the B site. Naf being one of the best banana riflers at the moment.
And Stewie, one of the best quad oppers. As many Europeans know.
Yes, they do.
We don't have much, guys.
But there's no more clay.
Yeah. Does sound kind of like an opera singer.
Solo hold from Naf, having lost Stewie early. Pressure moment here. The 50-second mark. Smoke's about to fade, and we've got 4 Ts are ready to try and pummel. Oh, he's got one at least, and a second. Naf, excellently done. Falls away from Coffins with 20 health and a teammate inbound. It's Nafany and Shiro in the 2v4. Bomb could be theirs. Grenade bounces inwards. Naf's gonna try to gun him down. Uh-oh, gun's gone dry. But still with the pistol, he's good to go. And Grim swings aside from construction. It is Liquid with a 9th as soon as they have weapons on this CT half.
You know what I hate about Nafly is he doesn't deathmatch, and it shows. But he's still the best performing player on the team. Like, he puts it together, man. Like, this is not an easy hold to do. And yeah, he hits a lot of body shots, but this guy gets the job done. He gets the job done. A great end to the year so far for Nafly, and a great tournament so far as well.
This was the thing with the whole, Liquid dismantling and rebuilding type thing. I think for a little while, Naf even said it like, oh, my future's uncertain, before we knew that he was re-signing with Team Liquid. And I was worried that maybe he wouldn't be able to, stick around.
Yeah, me too. But the best part of all was that he wrote resigned instead of putting a hyphen in, so that just built on it.
Yeah, resigned instead of re-signed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that was confusing.
He probably did it on purpose.
I was like, how can you resign for another 2 years?
2 years,
what?
Yeah.
But that's Naf. He doesn't deathmatch, and he doesn't hyphen. There's nothing you can do to change that.
Good establishment here early on. Natural rotation over towards the A site for the CT side, and it's just ball in Gambit's court in these situations, obviously. Or they're going to boost behind the smoke. This has become a lot more common this year. I think they're waiting to see if there's going to be some flash take, but they actually do it quietly, which is interesting. And so the boost doesn't come through. I don't know if they spotted mid or not. The rotation will start to go over. This could be a cool call from Gambit, how they actually quietly took mid control and fell out. But look at that, Fallen. He's already just got lines on it. Whoa, they're coming back to A?
He needs to deliver. Sure enough, he will. Smoke down. Yeah, little bait out. Oh, doesn't throw the nade. That would have been money.
Yeah. Whoa, Gambit. Whoa, 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 whoa.
25 seconds.
You don't have time to do that. Yeah, I thought they were going to go back to B. Definitely a little foggy right now. I mean,
what's going on?
Or they're actually saving, aren't they? That is such that's a Gambit moment and a half right there. I thought they were...
Talk me through it.
Sometimes you look like you're a super genius, But then when you're riding that line, you suddenly look really, really foolish, right? Because they're playing with the clock to a point that it's like, all right, they go back to A, go back to B. The opening move to walk up into mid and they not eliciting the boost on Arch, that was cool. Liquid taking back mid control like this, that was also cool. But Gambit coming back right into it with that and walking the whole way, and then 30 seconds up, what was the plan? What was the plan and what changed their minds? Because it feels like they're the only ones changing their minds right now. Liquid did not have to do anything special to win that round.
In fact, all they did was kill fall and get 1 kill.
Yeah.
That's it. 4v5 conceded.
I like that with Gambit so far with Groove behind him. He's talking right away with these timeouts to make sure that as soon as a bad round happens, they get back on track. That helped him out in the first half for sure.
That's one of the things that is like a bit unfortunate with coaches is, you know, it's always hard to kind of quantify their impact and their value.
Yeah.
There's guys like, you know, guys like Groove, we don't really know all the inner workings. Guys like Xtaz for Vitality is another one, and maybe that's just because we're English. Yeah, we know the reviews, we know from the players, and then every time you get an opinion from a player, like you have to take it. What the hell?
Wow.
What was that?
Were those Vu's arms?
I don't know. But the arms were still inspecting the knife. Did you see that? I've never seen that. I'm gonna get that replay. Joey, get on the case. Meanwhile, Fallen, missing the off shot. We saw what happened with the Tech-9s in the hands of Team Liquid. This is a pummeling as Nafany just takes over Arch on his own.
It's one of the most interesting situations on the map. If they think Gambit are leaving, retake mid. Grim gets his kill.
Ooh, the leash. Yeah, he's gonna find one as well, plus the bomb. But there's the peek in from Hobbit, and he still has time to grab it before. No.
Okay.
As Stewie comes around the corner, he gets wrecked.
Sure.
And the Opper finds Naf lurking as well. Gambit back to winning ways.
Hobbit was literally suppressing fire. He just wanted to get some bullets out. All right.
Look. It's inspecting the knife, dude.
Oh my God.
Man, that's some voodoo magic.
That's wild.
Okay. Thank you guys for...
I think, yeah, we needed that for sure.
I appreciate you guys.
Only you could do that with UFOs, you know what I mean? Just find one for sure.
I mean, dude, there's some pretty convincing. I'm not.
You got some subreddits for me?
I was gonna say, you know, this is Anders' area of expertise, but I know Hugo Byron's got all the links. Okay. There's some. I mean, at this point, man, UFOs. That's just confirmed. 100%. 100%.
I heard crop circles actually because of magnets.
I don't believe that. I think crop circles are because people have too much time on their hands.
You think people are making them? No.
Yeah, man.
That's now you're crazy. Now you're crazy.
People making crop circles.
Oh, that was a last round. That was quite a mistake by Fallen, huh? He was so close to the wall on the arch. I mean, his gun was sticking all the way out, and then he even tried to go back in for a shot after he saw a target, went for the second one. I think that's where the round collapsed a little bit. So it's a small move, but it can have a great knock-on effect. We saw the importance of the arch player in the first half.
CT's close. That Tech-9 entry last round from Nafany was just so key to keeping it clean. Snowball effect into the A site off that one. So there has been this affinity for the brackets play, but
well,
it's not falling on his own. This time Alige flirts nearby, and Shiro, he's trying to catch a player in transition. Alige gets blinded. He goes back for his fight.
What in the?
He's shooting at walls. Ghosts and UFOs. Oh, and he's gonna die empty-handed. Nafany with a headshot. Gonna go challenge inside CT spawn, looking for the rotating Stewie. And meanwhile, Gambit looking to attack this A site. Nafany on a tear. 2 kills to his name. Grim answers. Fallen inside sight. 10 seconds. But they get what they need. 2 additional kills to alleviate the pressure, plant bomb, and secure the 12th round win.
Oh, they're even waiting for Nafly, or maybe Nafly's waiting for Axile, actually. That was a super solid round from Nafany in particular. This, yeah, the flash worked. There was a flash from Grim from Pit, and that was so Alige could... He shot the first bullets, let them come out, waited for the flash tactic, so there's nothing bad about the play there from Team Liquid. Just a very nice, you know, trust of the spray from Nafany as he held down Arch. So that round rested on fine margins. I feel like we're seeing Grim get kind of very pivotal frags. This should be pivotal in a lot of these rounds on the A-holds, but they're not amounting to rounds 1. 12-10 now for Gambit. We were in the critical moments. There have been so many tragic rounds back and forth, actually. But it wouldn't be a Liquid game without him.
One AK Mo, that's all.
You think he's got it?
Naf?
He made a cool move to keep it.
Yeah, maybe he's got it in him.
Yeah.
All right. Naffer's in the chat. Now's his round. It's not Stewie's. He gets slaughtered. Shiro insta headshot on the banana peak. Did Naf make your top 20 this year?
You'll have to subscribe to the YouTube channel to find out.
What YouTube channel is that again?
YouTube.com/Launders. Ah. I just feel so uncomfortable talking about it.
It's okay, man.
Yeah, come on in, guys.
You're cool, man.
Come
it's okay.
on
You can talk about it.
Come on in.
Oh, look. They're going to walk into the AK. They've got 2 picks on the B site, and they're going to walk into A. Naf playing down beneath the Porsche.
Oh, they hear footsteps too.
If Elige could have helped, maybe something happens, but no, sir. It's just a shutdown from Gambit. 1 frag from Grim. Not even the AK-47 Liquid wielded. But it's a buy-up for the CTs at least. Still, they got to stop this hemorrhaging, man. This T side has won 6 rounds out of the 8.
And there's been a couple that you'd say, oh, well, Liquid should have had that, but that's just how it goes sometimes. So
shoulda, coulda, woulda.
The only good thing about that is that they should feel it too, that they came close a couple of times. They're still very much in this game. It's always a grind. But every match, I mean, you only got to get 16 one way or the other.
Unless it goes to overtime.
Got to put the puck in the back of the net. That's true. A third timeout called here for Liquid in what feels like a final stand. Just in terms of, I feel like the momentum, the circumstance, the confidence, a lot of it's going to come down into this round, this rifle round right here. And they don't have an op to support, but they're on the same page about Silence M4. So I think that's the first step to success.
Yeah, Perfecto, or excuse me, Bit would have something else to say.
That's true.
He believes in diversity. Frag grenade goes deep. Oh, Stewie taking 71 damage. And Axile also going to eat some frags. Oh, the spam's good. Oh, 3 HP is what he's going to escape with. How does he get out of there?
Some revenge, though.
Yes.
And it's damage for damage on riflers. That's worth it. They'll forfeit banana control, and they expelled a lot of grenades. So now I think it might be in Gambit's interest to actually try to starve him out a bit. Usually when you dump that many grenades, I mean, you really would like a kill if possible. But you also have that side benefit of maybe they're not going to play on banana now because they're scared. You didn't keep someone at logs or in the pocket. So let's see how Gambit approach it. It looks like they're going to take 2 parts of the map control at the same time. And they have the resources to do so.
I'm all about this.
Now they're moving pretty nice, I feel like, Gambit here. But, ooh, a Halsey aggression. That's an interesting one.
Cool nade from Elige. Hits the mark slightly. That was a bounce off the skybox. Fallen. Wait. Really? That's the shot he takes?
I'm surprised about that.
Oh, and then Nafany over on Arch again. How many rounds has Nafany been crucial on this side of the A site? But really, it's not even A in question. 30 seconds left. It's going to need to be the 2 players of Liquid that we talk about in terms of B defense. Stewie 2K and Naf leaning back with no teammates nearby. But Naf, deep angle through construction, catching Nafany in the CT spawn, and yet the A players still haven't started to commit on this rotate. Stewie's going to strike one down. Axile and Hobbit combining with the op and the frag to get what they need. A bomb plant secured. And while Axile keeps his eyes back behind them, it's Gambit looking forward to victory lane, a 14th on the board.
Wow, they did it. Yeah, but first of all, full credit to Nafany. What a play, to make that happen. But there was a couple of strange fights there, man. I don't know what...
I'm shocked Fallen took that shot.
I really am, too. I mean, he saw a player not looking at him. And yeah, there could have been another one who would, come in clearer, but that felt like kind of a low-confidence move for him to take that. And then Elige just came barreling through the smoke on the wrap. We just kind of tuned in right at that moment where he ran through, so I'm not exactly sure what elicited that, but that didn't look so great either. And then Stewie died almost, I think, 100 damage to just utility this round.
Yeah, he ate a lot of nades.
Which is pretty sick from Gambit. And that's 14-10. Oh, this is one of those games that'll turn your stomach upside down. You think about it too much. If you're North American.
I am.
For example.
My stomach's fine. Me and Frey are getting the perfect prediction today. Just letting you know.
Yeah, you predicted against Liquid and you feel good about it?
Yes.
Yeah.
I
Any other sins that you want to confess?
Nah, I'm taking those to the grave.
Okay.
Well, this one time.
Yeah, whoa.
I was in Ukraine. It was...
You sure you want to tell the story?
No, you're right.
A 4th timeout called here for Gambit to make bad matters worse for Team Liquid. They've been doing great off the pauses, and this is a situation where they were winning for the first time and called a pause. So, a very tenuous moment here as Team Liquid. They're still able to buy. Didn't expect that they'd have enough money to be able to do that. So it's some good economic management. They also have utility to work with, but I feel like they really want to get in a situation where they can get back on an op. And I think not buying the op is what allowed them to buy twice, but I don't know if it's going to be good enough for them to win. Don't always need one, that's for sure.
Stewie going to try to not take 100 utility damage this round.
Always fun playing B.
Underhands the flash. I like it. I like it. It's confident. And sure enough, he lines one up. Oh, a second. Down goes Hobbit, but here's the answer. Nafany not able to catch Nafly. Instead, he dies, and a 4v2 is where Gambit are left. Okay, huge banana fight this time. That was a war.
That was a war. It was a nice timing. And there's always that moment where the stars align, when you're spamming down B and you see players go for it all the time off the car peak. And here they layer their flashes to make sure that he has the ability to do so. Yes, he throws his one right click, but I'm sure there was a second one, and has also got support here. The perfect support. Mr. Naf.
I love when two A1Ss are shooting at the exact same time next to each other. That's my favorite sound in Counter-Strike.
It's like two guys that lost their voice trying to yell.
Yeah. No. No, it's not.
Well, that's the point of the silencer, isn't it?
What you looking at?
All cockeyed and stuff.
You ever feel like these chickens are really judgmental?
And that's chickens in real life too, right?
Yeah, I hate birds.
Yeah, you actually mentioned that yesterday. I learned that about you.
Yeah, we've gone down this road. I just don't trust them.
Is it because they look like dinosaurs or aliens?
Well, first of all, dinosaurs were aliens. Okay. Anders taught me that.
You keep saying things I don't want to hear.
I don't know, man. I don't like things. It's the fact that they can fly. Okay? Like if birds were all just on the ground, I'm not intimidated.
So you're jealous of what you're saying.
No, I'm not jealous. It's the fact that they can get near your head. Okay? I don't need things flying around my head. One time when I was a kid, I went to the zoo, and they had this room where birds were allowed to fly around freely. And, you could get these little cups of, like, sugary, liquid. And you'd hold the cup in your hand, and the bird would come, and it would land on your hand, and it would eat the syrup. And it's supposed to be like a nice... Oh, it sounds great! Until you pull out the cup, and all, 15 dozen birds start squawking and flying and flapping their dirty little... Anyways.
Okay, let's see if Liquid can fly back into this match. 3 rounds to go. They got their buy up. They don't have an op to work with, so that'll be tough. But okay, it's so precarious how the banana control has gone for them back and forth. There's been damage both ways. I feel like Gambit have more or less won that battle a bit more consistently. This time around, it's a deep B smoke, but this one's just to say, hey, throw some utility, take more time to clear things out. But we're not going to play down there. Naflions do love to play on the site in general. And they're one of the teams that definitely do a good job doing that.
Ooh, dodges the flash, but can't get the crosshair back in place. Not as quick as Nafany. Man, he's really coming alive on this T side. His mid to arch plays have been pretty impactful. And he's looking for a liege yet again. Ooh, but as he tries to clear close, he turns back into his own demise. 4v4. Bomb in tow. And a heavy lean from Liquid, but Hobbit has a liege caught by his toe. Frag grenade. Forces Grim away towards the little pit. He wants to fight, and he's going to take Axile, but he's just lost his teammate. Oh. He gets back into his initial position. Now a little bit of cover here for Grim. He's trying to hold off. Stewie attempting to get closer, but can't arrive in time. Shots go through smoke, and a frag for 99 as Hobbit drops him, and Gambit secure 15.
Oh, that one's painful, man. There's two deaths there because of players not lining up their utility over cover. In that situation, they're specifically trying to focus on halls. A liege dies, crouched in the open. ready to throw his smoke, his molly, whatever it is. And then Grim dies in pit, even though he makes a fabulous play getting over to big pit just as the molly ends and almost finds a really good spot. But he could have flashed door over the wall. Alish could have, I mean, maybe he has a lineup, maybe he doesn't, but those are, I don't know. That's really unfortunate. But now it's 15-11. You got to say Gambit has been clearly now the better team in this half.
Yes, sir.
Ready to take this first map.
Phenomenal T-side coming out of him. Shiro, he's going to find Stewie through the smoke. Alish also playing with some risky business. Almost caught by Nafany, but he'll get away and try to fall back. This was an 8T round win for Team Liquid. Why did I say that? They had 8 terrorist round wins in the first half. And only 3 on this CT side. So what an offense from Gambit. Sometimes being successful towards Banana.
I guess that is the Gambit magic.
Yeah.
They make you make a lot of mistakes.
I think, you know, tip of the hat to Naf and his, not Naf, but Nafany and his arch plays. Big fan, big fan. Right now, Fallen trying to puff his chest and get them to walk into Naf. He's close on the corner. Oh, 2 kills in, but Inters looks to trade this one back. It's at least been made even. Alish even gonna get himself the advantage. Nafany should fall victim to Grim. No, he gets away. And Grim, he's thinking about a calculated risk. He waits, and Nafany walks right back into it. It falls to Inters to try and clutch this out. He's got the bomb, and he's got a little bit of disjointed timing between Grim and Fallen. 20 seconds left. An incendiary on the feet of Grim with a flash above it as well. Grim just inside the fire. He gets the headshot right before he burns to death. Team Liquid take a 12.
Grim has been making key plays, man. That one, he ate that molly. He sat in it. He had 1 peek to go off of, but if he swung to the right side, he was dead. And it was just enough time in that molly. He was 1 tick away from dying, and it disarmed Inters. He immediately looked off the position. Held his nerve here. Oh, I think waiting. Oh no, that's Inters' flash. Yeah, he did that all by himself. Grim's made a lot of key plays from the pit. He's actually not positive in KD, but I swear we've seen so many good individual moments from him, despite this half going south. But it's another close round, and it's even more of a desperate buy than what we just saw. The MP9, two Famuses now for Team Liquid. However, Gambit actually have spent all their money this round, Connor. So
I'll get a gun.
This goes to show you how close some of these rounds have been.
This could be the one, you know, give Liquid 13 and they fight for overtime with an edge. But off the back foot, as you said, lesser weapons for Liquid here in round 28. 3 rounds to play with Vertigo up after this. Hobbit, the current top fragger of both teams in the server, 22 and 14. Hunting inside the apartments. There's actually a smoke ahead of Grim, who's down in pit. Excuse me, not even. But none of that matters if all we get is a Gambit B play. Smoke will stave things off. We're at the minute mark.
They could have been finding the timings on retaking mid, that's for sure. They've been doing that much. Sometimes the tragedy happens in B with the utility through the smoke and stuff like that, but this round, the round slowed down. Problem is for Liquid, they just don't have the tools this round to play a slow round.
Fallen playing back. Smoke ahead of him. 2 players going to be able to cross. They're going to try to challenge Fallen. He could come through unannounced. Axile's wary. He's trying to keep his eyes on both these smokes. Fallen decides to push off of the flash. Axile's in with the headshot. Alish pops in with the 2K. And he's trying to stay alive. In from Graveyard. Down he goes to the wall bang of Shiro. But we've still got Grim inside pit, and we know that he can go big. Hobbit's roosted up above him. Shiro missing his shot. Now it falls on Hobbit, and he strikes downwards. 10 seconds to spare. He needs to pick this bomb up and get inside the bomb site, but the Molotov's gonna make things awkward. An easy wraparound for Nap. It's denied.
Okay.
Team Liquid trying to push the limits.
Wow, one hell of an awkward situation. Another situation where they try to flash Arch. They have someone in CT. It's Fallen coming through. That player ends up dying without a kill, and you're like, oh, okay, that's it. It's a series of unfortunate events. This is the final one. They cannot take anymore. But the support is there on the site. Grim, another great play. And you got to love the liberties that he's taking. He comes out of the mini pit into his next kill right after Shiro takes a shot. You can't have that guy alive last. He'll win the round for you. And just like that, there's no money left over for Gambit. Believe it or not, Liquid have recovered their position in this game.
Wow. All right. I mean, we're going the distance. If Gambit win this round, I'll eat a boot. But they do have that one flashbang.
Well, you're already eating the boot.
Wait, why?
Well, I mean, if they...
Okay.
Yeah. I'll make you eat that boot. Bomb in mid.
Oh, they gave him the spacing,
One
man.
flash for the hull pop.
Oh, Hobbit's just going to go. And, of course, as you'd expect, the weapon's going to rip him to shreds. Grim with another headshot. Just doing what he does, man. Finding the impact so clean. Crisp. And convincing.
I'm glad just numerically the scoreline represents that he's had a pretty solid game so far. At least there's that. So 19-19 here for
to go.
Little Grimathy. Yeah, round 30 now. It's a very real match, and I actually I'm not sure they'll have the opportunity to buy an out for themselves. So Shiro will be without one. Of course, T-side Inferno. No need to have one, even if it's a point of comfort for him. See the Galil coming out for Inters. This will be a no-op round here, round 30.
Let's see it. Overtime or Vertigo. Off of the back of this one. And it was dire.
I'd just like to say it was 15-11 at one point
That
on
it was.
Inferno.
That it was.
With Stewie on the server.
Okay, bro.
CT side.
And 3 round wins
On
in
land.
a row. Not even a bomb plant in the last 3 either, so Gambit have been hitting a bit of a wall. If we're drawing parallels between this and Cloud9, it's also 2 dead NA teams.
How dare you.
Those are those wall bangs I'm talking about. Elise, she's got them all, man. A brainiac when it comes to the A spams.
We've seen a few funny plays from Fall in this match, but one thing I think that's been standing out in terms of what they've done is his presence around Arch.
Okay.
At least getting the information here. This has, I think, made the round very winnable.
Feels like if anything, it's been a bit weaker when Elijah's doing it instead.
Yeah, he's not having a great game, is he?
Oh, but down goes Grim. Oh, Nafany connects the headshot, but this is all a ruse. Or is it? 35 seconds, bomb starts to move over, Fallen caught in the open, so now they have plenty of time. And because they were so ready to hit this B site, they're actually able to confirm that Stewie's on the chase. Inter's also a landmine, gonna stick around here. And unfortunately for Liquid, it all blows up in their face. Gambit, yeah, a bit of relief and a bit of a smile in victory, but they know that this one went the distance. They know it got way too close for comfort. A 16-14 victory on Inferno.
Wow, the pace of that game was so weird, man. That was it was hard to get a flow of things. The amount of rounds that were so close, back and forth, and for Liquid to post that comeback. Thought, okay, we're likely to go to overtime, but Grim dying first. That's a bad omen.
Deep nades, man. Utility, the name of the game for Gambit, and
True.
Vertigo is up next.
Hello everyone, this is Kaden from Heroic, and here we have Hobbit from Gambit. We're doing some CS money skin scrabble, and we brought you 2 of the best players, but let's see how good they are at knowing their skins.
Banana.
But it has a name, it has a different name.
What is that? Wait, now my mind is broken.
It's an animal. Long arms.
Wow.
You know what animal I'm talking about?
Monkey.
Yes, exactly.
Money. Monkey. Not dollar.
What is Blast?
Tournament.
Yes, all a monkey business.
Oh
business. I
my
don't know how to
god. Yes. It's really difficult. I mean, I know.
Yeah.
Yes, that's a new skin, but I'm not using it, so I don't know the name. It should be hard name.
Yeah. Prince Stream?
Prince Stream.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
You know this?
Orange there.
I mean red, you know?
Red, okay. Yes, it's Marble Fate.
Yes, it is.
Good explaining. Hard name of the skin. I don't remember. I'm so...
It's called Flashback. I wanted to... But
Flashback.
I wanted to but I see why it's fire, but I wanted to...
So...
Tiger!
No.
Is it the
not
zebra
tiger.
one or what? Hypnotic. Deagle Hypnotic.
Yes.
Hobbit! Hit me with a high five! What the heck?
Good job, bro. You will understand.
Red line?
I didn't start yet.
That's just bowler.
Maybe like this. Like this. Let me do like this.
Okay.
But it's this one.
Okay, oh yeah, okay.
So...
Yeah. And fire as well?
Everywhere.
Oh, no. Oh, okay, no.
You don't remember?
No. What's the name?
It's water elemental.
Oh, yes.
Okay, just imagine it's full purple.
Okay.
Here's the yellow, for example.
Okay. Is it Fate? Yes! Let's go, Hobbit. Double. We'll get 3 points.
Inferno to kick things off, and Gambit managed to scrape it over the line. We go the full 30 rounds to decide who seals it, and despite a valiant effort from the side of Liquid, unfortunately unable to close this one out. So what was so instrumental in terms of Gambit being able to close this one?
I mean, Nafany had so much impact in this game, especially in the second half. I'm sure we'll readdress it, but the individual performances coming out of him and the impact from his kills was, to me, round deciding. Liquid, they won the first pistol round. They got off to a good start, and you think to yourself, okay, if they can pull up rounds on the T side, there's a good chance because we know the CT defense is super, super strong. Unfortunately for them, it felt like Gambit read Liquid pretty well. They wanted to go towards the A-bomb side. They wanted to test Fallen. They wanted to test Elise, and for whatever reason, right, we talked about it in the green room as well, Elise was caught off guard so many times in that game, and that's atypical him.
They want to test him, and they have failed the test. And I think actually both teams played a pretty good T side. I think actually the difference is that Liquid's going to be kicking themselves about some of the post plans on B that they've had. You know, some of it was a little bit unfortunate, right? Inter's coming in with the nade, right, in the last second almost, killing the bomb planter. Then they win the Shiro clutch as well. That was even maybe the same round. But yeah, there were a couple of more rounds Liquid could have won on that T side, and I think that would have brought them over the hump.
Yeah, you talk about the testing from the side of Gambit on towards Liquid. Were you mentioning the A site a lot because that was where they seem to have a bit of a fixation with going towards that area.
Especially when they went towards Arch. They found so many timings where you put Nafany in towards, you know, Arch and go towards CT spawn, and they were playing with the smoke as well. There was a couple of examples of Nafany just walking through a smoke, finding a good timing on Fallen. There was a couple of examples where Nafany as well, I mean, taking a big risk, but it felt like he did it.
How to say though, here there's a bad angle from Fallen. Like he's too close to the wall. Like you have to be further back. He also loses the timing. You can see like he peeks, re-peeks, dies. Nafany gets the op, and after that they just feel trapped here in the site. Right, they're getting wrapped. They have to push out to try to regain some control, some information. But you can see how everyone's aware on Gambit. Hobbit is close to apps. Just because of this, he comes out, gets the trade, and Gambit closes out this round.
The problem is it happened many times, right? It happened so many times when Nafany found a timing where he went in towards CT spawn, he pushed a smoke, he got a flash from a teammate, even a round where...
Yeah, this was just the following. This was just the next round, to add to your point, right? He comes in again, gets a kill blind, and this is the round where he pushes down CT, finds another kill. So yeah, I think for him it was just that sequence, this sequence of these two rounds, because the previous round, Gambit went into with 4 saved guns. Their economy was not great. If Liquid wins that round, then they have momentum, they have control. The opposite thing happened, and this is where Gambit really got on a streak. I think it went to 14-10.
Yeah, I kind of want to point that out as well, the fact that we did see him go, I think it was 14, 14-10 at one point. And then we saw Grim actually putting up a decent defense in that pit position as well. And that was kind of impressive from him. You know, it's not somebody that we expect to be really putting up the numbers, but I think there we saw him on 9 kills and he ended up with something that, close to 20 there.
Yeah, he did a good job. And I think Liquid did a good job, you know. Gambit, in my books, were the favorites coming into this one. Liquid, again, a team that's not putting too many hours into practice right now, but they managed to push Gambit all the way to a brink, you know, where it was 15-14, where it could have gone into OT. So, I mean, it's sad for Liquid because it was their own map pick, and I felt that was the one chance they had of getting into this best of 3. I think Vertigo is going to be a big problem for Liquid, but they didn't play bad. They just faced a Gambit that was slightly better.
Yeah, let's talk about Vertigo a little bit as well. We were discussing it in the green room, saying for Liquid, things definitely don't get any easier moving on to this ground.
Yeah, absolutely. I think also the way Gambit won on Inferno is connected to Vertigo as well, because it wasn't anything. They just stuck to their own game throughout and executed well in the end. And for Vertigo, I mean, that's always their control is just so good, fighting for map control, changing the pace on that A ramp, how they approach it, right? Exile on B on both T side and CT side. Again, you know, very good. And sometimes they even just leave him lurking there super late into the round where he can come all the way to backstab, or if they have time, he can just, you know, try to take the bomb side by himself, win a 1v1 fight, and then the bomb comes back. So yeah, there hasn't been many teams who were able to beat Gambit on Vertigo this year, so a tough task for Liquid.
It's going to be tough, especially because Gambit can control the pace in that T side. They're so good at waiting out for the opponents, waiting for the move, drag utility out of the opponents, and then go into the late executions as well. One thing that's going to be a win condition for me, though, is Stewie 2K. We saw him struggle a little bit here in Inferno in terms of the opening duels. He won 2 out of 10 in that Inferno game, one of them being in the eco round, so that doesn't really count right. Stewie can make the difference when it comes to Vertigo, together with Elise, I feel. Those two can disturb the way Gambit want to play. The problem for me is that if Gambit gets into a flow state where they get too much space, where they can, you know, waste a minute every single round just by taking A ramp slowly but surely, dragging out the utility for Liquid, I don't see Liquid have enough firepower in order to stop the executes when it gets into the later rounds.
Yeah, for me the problem is, though, I think you have to be patient on this map, right? Like in some, you know, how many times on A side, plant the bomb, fake the plant, move so you don't eat the nades, then plant, then play the retake, right? And I don't think Liquid at this moment with this roster has the necessary patience, or at least against a team like Gambit, right? So that's what worries me. I think Gambit is just going to basically outgrind them on this map.
Well, before we do continue to talk a bit more about Gambit's pick of Vertigo, we do have a few words from Groove.
I've got Groove with me in between maps, and although you won, it was very close considering how far you guys were ahead. So what was going wrong towards the end to not close it out early enough?
So we had a really bad CT side. We lost a lot of rounds in the beginning. After that, we lost to eco round. We lost 4 versus 2 situation. It's impossible for tier 1 team.
Yeah.
So that is why we have such tough team. Liquid, just keep it in mind. Liquid focus every situation, and they did their best when we lost the focus and did mistake.
But you did win this map at least, right? Now you're going on to Vertigo, which is a king map when it comes to what Gambit like to do. Any nerves at all when it comes to it? You just got to get the boys ready and focused?
No, to be honest, we are not nervous this tournament. We already have, in my opinion, enough experience, and we are not playing behind the crowd. So it's studio format. It's okay for us, but anyway, Vertigo is a good map for Liquid as well. There are 2 best maps, Overpass and Vertigo. So we'll see.
What are you going to say to the boys now in between the maps?
So we will discuss our T side. That's all. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I wish you the best of luck with Groove. Go get them.
Thank you, guys.
T-side's plain and simple for this map coming in for Groove. Any thoughts on that?
I think Groove's favorite song is let's get down to business, you know. Just there's not too much going around there. Yeah, we're just going to talk about the next map, get to it, right? Vertigo is a great map for them. They played it at Pro League last time. I think it might have been 16-14. It was either 16-14 or 16-10. Yeah, Liquid no slouches on Vertigo, but Gambit is just a different breed, right? And I think that's why he's trying to play it off a little bit, but I think they feel super comfortable coming into this one.
Yeah, I think you've got to look at the caliber of opponents as well for both sides of the equation. Of course, Team Liquid facing some lower level opponents where they're getting some of those Ws. Of course, not to put any disrespect on the side of Liquid. Anything that you're particularly looking towards when we were talking about, you know, the patience attitude of Liquid, do you feel like they're going to be able to withstand what Gambit are throwing at them on Vertigo?
I'm afraid they won't. I think Vertigo is one of those maps where where you need a lot of synergy and you need to be, you need to be very well driven if you want to be able to wait out for the long rounds that's going to occur right here. Gambit is, as you said, a world-class Vertigo team. Last time they lost it was against Virtus.pro, who are arguably one of the best in the world on Vertigo as well. So the different caliber of teams right now should be showing on the server as well. I expect Gambit to win quite convincingly here.
Well, we have reached the heights of Vertigo, and hopefully for Gambit, continuing their form coming onto their pick. A place at the upper bracket finals is on the line, and they're going to be taking it to Liquid after the break.
And so we've got Team Liquid pushing Gambit to the limit, but ultimately a 16-14 victory on Inferno. We're moving this one all the way up. Vertigo next, Scrawny and Launders, and the Betway odds in the favor of Gambit, probably because they have a map advantage, and probably also, of course, because it is Vertigo.
It's Vertigo, man. Gambit love this map. Just watched the demo for them today, actually, on this map. They are they're pretty damn good.
Okay.
They already played it at this tournament and looked fantastic. I had nothing but good things to say about it. That's why I was quite surprised about Inferno. I felt like there was actually some questionable moves being made in that first half, but on Vertigo, I feel like they're just going to be so comfortable now. It'll be a very difficult game to win. This ended up being a map that Team Liquid had to get good at when they were playing against Astralis at a certain point.
Right, yeah.
As the vetoes went on, when the map was very new. So they put in a lot of work on the map for sure. I think they can make it a competitive game. Gonna say there's always a chance for sure. It's not like one of the most, one-sided potential maps, but Gambit this year, again, as Yanko pointed out yesterday, sporting a 60% win rate on both sides across the entire year. And there's just 5 reasons. Like those players right there, Axel on the B site, Nafany making his plays on the A ramp, and the team is so good on T side in general. And they're such a default-centric team. And this map suits them for that reason, because you can't really do too many executes really quickly on the map. So oftentimes, because of how wide A ramp is and how wide B is, there's lots of rooms to play with the particulars, and that's where Gambit have really made their brand. Going slow, playing with the particulars, and punishing you for your tiniest little mistakes.
Is it fair to say that Axile is one of the better A ramp players when it comes to Vertigo?
No, Nafni.
Excuse me, Nafni?
Yeah, definitely. He is, it's kind of like that. He plays the role so much like Art with the pushes down A ramp. I think Art really championed that. Honestly, I feel like he's had so much impact on the meta, despite his team not being, top 5 or anything like that. But yeah, it's pretty much smoke goes down A ramp, Nafni scours around it, works up towards short, and then sometimes Shiro will be there on short shelf to catch his fallback. They don't do the crane peek, sandbags peek all that often. They'll throw it in once in a while, but it's just about, I think a lot of the rounds begin and end on Vertigo on this A ramp, and for Gambit, really early, but they're starting on T side, which would be very cool to watch.
And sure enough, also beginning the map on the A ramp. So they take it over by storm. Nobody really getting ahead of this by Team Liquid's defense. They're going to lean back on it. They've got a kid on the play thanks to Grim's setup. Also, 2 smokes, double flashbang. A 10-man post plant? Maybe. Smoke soon to fade. Shiro fakes it out one time and then commits. So 10 guys up. But who falls? Nafni headbutts the smoke grenade. Shiro's still very much locked into the default plant. And now it's Axile to try and cut them back. 1 kill to his name. Shiro activates. Ooh, the Glock getting away from him. And the round away from Gambit. Hobbit, awkward spot, fighting off of the side of the building. 1v1 with Fallen low. A single bullet's got the job done. Nafni taking pistol for Gambit.
Yeah, well done. I like that from beginning to end. Of course, you have Shiro going for the plant and then get off. He's going to be the guy planting the bomb every single round on the T side, on the A side especially. And it's a situation where he's just seeing if they have a double HE setup on the buy, but Team Liquid did not expect that kind of round to come out that fast. But the other thing is that you're just trying to trade down material as quickly as possible once the plant comes out. You don't want to sit behind smokes or play down the A ramp while it's still a 5v5, because that's when the CTs can really overwhelm you. So instead, they play on default, close wall, right back on short shelf, ready to peek, and are just trying to go 1-for-1 basically as many times as possible, because if it gets down to a 1v1, it's so T-favored. You don't have to worry at all.
Ooh, Hobbit gonna get, oh my god, scattered by Elige. No way. Oh, and another one thanks to Nafly. 5-7 up close towards the B ramp. Dude, all that damage versus Grim and Fallen for nothing because Elige swings it around. Bomb's gonna try to come running over. Shiro needs to give cover to Nafni. Grenade's gonna soften Stewie slightly and push Grim 1 step closer to sweet death.
Wow, I mean, this is still somehow winnable. There's not even armor purchased up on this round, just the USPs.
Ooh, ow. Nafni gonna offer up some of his health. Bomb for the default spot. A smoke for Naf. But a 2v5 in the post. Shiro comes in with 3 kills. Nafni's gone down. He's looking for the ace. Naf puts his head on a present, and Stewie 2K peeks into his own demise. It's on 5. Shiro.
Oh yeah, talk to him, Nafni. Let's go. They recovered that. No armor purchase up. You still expect to win, of course, if you're Team Liquid, and they even use some of the utility that they picked up from the dead bodies back against Gambit, but it could not take Shiro down. The smallest tank you've ever seen. Oh, if they could understand him, I'm sure they'd be offended.
Well, Stewie had some choice words to give back to him. I don't know if everybody heard that, but...
Well, they're the ones who speak 2 languages.
Yeah.
Us Americans.
Yeah. You speak the second best Italian.
We're Canadian, actually.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, I like to make that distinction. Especially while traveling. Lee's looking to pummel some shots through, but no, not going to connect just yet. Still, this is a fantastic outcome for Team Liquid off that back of that, Sure, you would have preferred to have robbed the round away, but your buy's decent, and their accounts bottomed out.
But does it do more or less for your mental health to get that close and lose?
More.
With Liquid?
I can't speak for their mental health.
Who knows? I'd be a little bit tilted because you can just you already taste it. Yeah. You already taste it. But you're right. I mean, when you look at the numbers, it was a solid round for just USPs. No shame losing a clutch to Shiro. That's what I like to say.
Exile hunting for Grim. Could boost Inters up as well, or vice versa. Oh, but he looked away. Sheesh. Grim's got that deep angle easy. But then gives up the B site entirely.
Oh, yeah, he thought he bought himself a few seconds where they'd be scared. But now he's in a retake position. Not terrible for the B site.
Oh, more players start to scatter back. They're caught in transition.
No way they're pushing through every smoke.
They're just charging right in.
Oh.
And this is it. Hook, line, and sinker. But at the same time, Shiro is actually here with bomb. He needs to plant. There's no other option.
Wait,
and
what?
they lose it. He left the B site because of all the success at A, but then just before he gets there, we've got Team Liquid all-inning and stopping it. That just brings me flashbacks of that one weird round on Inferno as well.
I had so much trouble following the cast on Inferno. It was a really fun game to watch, but just in terms of building like the storyline as it went, because of how the rounds are going, and it feels like we're just getting more of that here on Vertigo.
It's a weird series.
Yeah, definitely very weird. Entertaining for sure, but a hard one to understand. That is such a strange situation. Like, you almost can't fault Liquid for dying to people pushing smokes in a situation where there's actually not even enough time to come back to A. But then, why didn't Gambit just hit B in the first place when they didn't have the time to do so? I was losing track of the clock, so I guess that's why it was so confusing for them. Trying to do a bit too much.
Save your flash shake, and then I'm gonna ask for it after, like in the middle of their second smoke.
There's a op still here for Shiro, at the very least.
I really like this environment where we can like hear the players' comms come through in the middle of the rounds or prior to the rounds.
Yeah.
Kind of get a better picture. It's like when UFC went to Abu Dhabi and you could just hear fighters talking smack or...
So much better than the UFC crowds.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I love CS crowds, but it's just each of these environments have their own
I'm only talking about the UFC crowds,
Okay.
trust me.
Okay.
Yeah, no, hearing the coaches, hearing the hits.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Okay, ready for the mid peak? Or is it a mid pop? Pistol stacking up with the op, and oh, the A1S is good. Fallen and Nafly, easy does it. Hobbit gets his hands back on the sniper. The Liege all the while. Lots of utility ahead of him here on A. He is comfortable as ever. But he will have a fight on his hands once Nafany's smoke phases away. Right about now.
Yeah?
Now. And he dies. That's an M4 given over.
Yeah.
1 HP, of course.
Liege and Nafany are going to go head-to-head on both halves.
I'm down with that.
The same spot.
Yeah, sign me up.
Yeah. Liege is insane on the T side, especially when it comes to working the A ramp.
He's always got really good routing when it comes to getting behind yellow.
He just has all the smoke spams, timings, and stuff like that. It's just, he makes it feel like there's two people when he's working the A ramp. But, man, what is happening right now?
Another round to fizzle out?
Okay.
Probably just because, you know, save on the cards.
Yeah.
They actually grabbed an M4, so it's a net positive in terms of what Gambit came in with and what they'll walk away with.
And they got that Shiro op.
But it is, of course, the Liquid 2-2 tie. Whoa. Counter-terrorist. Don't fall, Stewie.
Even though there's no way you fall off unless you literally hit backwards, it still makes
still
me...
sketchy.
Yeah.
It's still sketchy.
It's so scary.
I don't play those games. But this is basically where the round began and ended. Inter's sent flying with Shiro, but the op was picked back up. So again, it's all just a bonus. They take the A1S into this one.
Another weird one because they're investing behind it, but they have the off from Shiro, so they're maybe going to try to get some impact out of him. We'll see how they lead. The name of the game here is the smoke versus the smoke, and seeing over top of it with the op, sometimes boosting in either corner. And what's really important for the CT side is doing this, disrespecting their counter smoke, making sure they haven't lurked through while yours is still up, and then just getting out of there.
Tons of sound. Liege on high alert. But they're just gonna basically work past him. And Shiro even catching the short player. Still tons of time as well for Gambit to piece together a picture. Flashbang goes deep. tries to turn the attention of Stewie away, and they will grab that weapon. Not to mention, leaving Shiro on the angle
forgot
for
about
that. Stewie does overextend right into his death. It's Gambit's offer to get the first and second, and as Fallen tries to contest it, we do have Naf on the flank, caught by Hobbit. Tech-9 to the back of the head. But these kinds of doors scare me because we've seen Gambit make wild rotations.
Yeah.
And if they do it with sound, then they're just going to kind of leave Liquid.
Okay, Axile heard them, and he also heard Axile, but there's just too many Gambit players to like bite on anything in specific. Now the CTs are split up.
Okay, this time it works out for Gambit. All right, all right. There's been so many rounds like that where it ends up coming back to haunt them.
I still don't like them pushing in the 4v5. I know that just because it's 5v4 doesn't mean that the round's over, per se, but in that situation, I feel like they forgot about Shiro's op that actually got carried forward 2 rounds. Maybe it felt like a force buy, and obviously Shiro's going to get there to that position sometimes. And then also on the flank, I feel like even in the 3v4, after that points, you can play containments as the flanker, but I feel like they still had enough going on that they didn't need to overextend. But I have full map vision, so it's a bit easier for me to make that call, of course.
Yeah. Comments from the peanut gallery.
Yeah, pretty much. But I guess they really were at Team Liquid's head and made them feel like they had more guns than they did.
Yep.
But they were just gun deliveries. Oh, I love scratching that part of my arm. Feels so good. What?
Such a weird thing to say. You know, of all the things I could have heard today, I wasn't ready for that one.
I just could feel it.
I got some lotion in the green room if you need it. Dry elbows.
After, yeah.
Man's cracking. Maybe Shiro is too. Crack of the whip, that is. It's Fallen posted on the sandbags. Oh, perfect nade for him. Dismantles the setup for the most part. Still, they're going to stick around a bit. Ooh, there it is. Fallen will open. Hobbit also going to fall victim to the distraction that served for Fallen and Stewie 2K. This is a 5v3.
I don't like this
made
game.
out of nothing.
I don't like trying to explain this game. My job is to try to like explain the things that happen, but it's like UFOs. You can't explain them.
Don't even get me started on Oumuamua.
We know so much about UFOs. Why are they unidentified?
Because we don't have the technology. Yet. Molly on the feet of Elige. Yeah, might as well pick up that A1S. Try to take one with him, but he's actually afforded a lot of movement here. Gets all the way back. Shiro sends a shot sailing by. Listen, we've seen Gambit recover rounds they're not supposed to win. And in the face of adversity, they've delivered. 35 seconds. Still a pretty heavy lean from Liquid elsewhere on the map.
Almost ran through their own Molly in the default. I'm not sure if he touched it, but okay.
Ooh, down goes Bomb.
Yeah, that's Elige with no armor, but putting himself in a good spot to get damage off for free.
He'll get boosted up.
Time's coming down.
Problem is Inters also only has 9 health, so Elige is like a hawk. Eyes on Bomb. And they very, very well know that they are surrounded. So they're going to have to fight one way or another, and they decide to go back. They concede the round win, and they may have to concede everything they own. Sure enough, Elige runs it forward. Huge round for Liquid.
Yeah, it was still, while the time was still going, fortunately for them. But yeah, that's unlucky that they have to lose everything. All right, well, Liquid win this one. That's well done with the opening tactic and the push. And we know Elige is a force on the A ramp, so don't give him any guns. And just like that, bingo, bango, bongo, we have nothing here for Gambit. Tech-9, 1 flash. I want to assume you need more than that.
Weird game, man.
These days, you can't be sure.
Just a weird pacing. But the fun part is it feels like every round is winnable.
That's true.
So we're all just locked in.
I think this is what Gaben wanted all along.
Praise be. All we wanted was Source 2, you know, but apparently that's too much to ask for. Grim lines it up. Nafany peeks to his death. And Grim's got a little bit of cover here. Nice, keeping it clean as he was in pit. Good anchor. And obviously in the anti-eco, he's just going to farm him. Makes that money, pads those stats. And a deagle out even for some style points. Why not? Tech 9 on Hobbit, no armor. It is a Liege to come in and steal away the ace.
Got my... Oh, yeah, he did do that, didn't he?
Just stole it.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
Stole the ace.
That was one for the Frag movie. They have to edit his name now in the kill feed, so it says Grim.
Is Liege the only pro player who has like one of those wrist pads at the bottom of his keyboard?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I have tried gaming with those. I didn't enjoy my time at all. Also, I didn't know they still made them.
Liege has
found like a matching one.
He's got all the bells and whistles.
Oh, he's gonna live until he's at least 130.
Okay.
No, I mean, he's got perfect posture. He's had it since day one of his career.
Yeah.
He thinks about everything analytically, and he's even got a wrist armrest for his keyboard that no one else would do. When my mom made me wear snow pants to school,
yeah,
I would always take them off. But Liege,
yeah, he wore them in the summer.
Now he doesn't. He's the one without frostbite. So who's laughing?
Look at that. It's thick too.
Yeah, italics.
Probably like premium memory gel. All the bells and whistles, I tell you. But bells and whistles is what Gambit's got finally back into the gun rounds. No op, of course, for Shiro, so Fallen will be uncontested in that department. But damage over top that smoke. Axile opens up. And now Fallen feeling a bit of pressure here, has to call for Naf's support. Opens a door towards mid, but nobody there to take it just yet, Gambit. Feels like a real game of chess.
It's always a nightmare to try to get in the heads of Gambit and figure out what they're going to try to do next. There's one thing that they are, it's quite unpredictable. Even if in a couple of these rounds it's come down to the wire. Established on the A-ramp, this is where it's very, very scary for the CTs. They don't have enough players here, I'm going to tell you right now, to stop this. And they aren't doing anything proactive to get ahead of things. So they're leaning really hard on the short shelf player right now. But yeah, there's also the option that Gambit don't even go forward with this. I feel like they don't know what they're going to do right now. I don't know. Maybe they're kind of faking B there.
There's been a bit of uncertainty, it feels like, across a lot of the rounds across both maps.
Yeah, they still got time, though. They still got time.
Cheeky position, Liege. Nobody going to deliver their head just yet, but it feels like it's coming. Maybe it's the short contest first. Oh, Liege actually gets hard cleared off of it, and Stewie also dying to the headshots. Gambit keeping it clean. Another pop-up, though, from Naf, and he sees a body close. Also, the short players begin to apply that pressure, so he dives into the cover. And Hobbit, hands busy on the plant. Naf not able to stop them, so, as you said, it's just not enough on the A site to stop it. Gambit, they're gonna tie 4 rounds apiece.
Yeah, I felt that time was working out. Okay, they had 40 seconds, and they're at the elbow on the ramp, so they can throw all the grenades that they need to. So from that perspective, it's fine. It was just kind of the juddering back and forth that made me wonder if they were going to, like, second guess it and go back. But ultimately, it was a solid round. They had, I think, you know, Gambit worked to try to achieve a critical amount of information safely, and then they're comfortable going forward with something. And I think in their minds, once they hit those metrics, they've won the round already. And this is a situation where, yeah, they had the time to exec. They had the player advantage on the ramp. There were no reactions coming in for Team Liquid. So as soon as they figured that out, they said, hey, if we've got a couple extra seconds, let's see if they try something. And if not, we're going to go forward with this A exec. I'm going to show it to you guys. It's awesome. It works every time. And then this is just one more time that it works.
Team Liquid's first pause.
So, of course, that's why so many rounds are won and lost on the A ramp. If you go back to the site, you can even have numbers, but you can't really make 3 players useful at the same time from back there, you know. So those guys are going to die individually, or you try to go for some retake. But you're very unlikely to win the 4v5 retake when a team is that comfortable, that much health, that much utility, and so that's why, you know, playing aggressively makes a lot of sense on that half of the map.
Blind as a bat. Axile, bit of a rough showing so far here on Vertigo. Or excuse me, no, that's Inters. I said nothing. He's 1-6, alongside Stewie 2K. But far more forward mid play here from Liquid, so changing things up on the defense. A fresh face And a peek from Fallen. Perfect. Headshot the Inters sends him packing. And Liquid with a man advantage.
They're going to hear a lot of his movements, but it's Fallen to split up. Take route over to the A site.
Bless you.
Sorry. Grim having a peek. It's halfway between a bless you and a Robitussin, I feel like. I don't know, a hiccup. What do you...
Nafany, you
dog. Oh my goodness gracious.
Oh, he walks right in. Stewie. Oh, gonna be able to answer. Barely, though. 19 health left over. Hobbit's trying to cause a ruckus. Grim looks for his fight. Confirmed. Shiro kills both. Grim going big. And this time it's not even anti-eco. Hobbit needs the 1v4. He's dealing damage as well, but now we start to see Liquid dogpile this bomb site, leaving Fallen down beneath in the depths of A. This is Liquid taking their 5-4 lead. Nafany almost had it.
He did. He made the play he wanted to, and even though Elige was reloading in that position, he had Stewie so close behind, so there was just that very tiny gap in the window. Nafany stuck his foot in, cranked it open, and got in, but Stewie eventually traded it. That's all that really mattered. Nafany's usually in a position where he can't be traded back, and that's just one of those spots. If he had stayed alive, he could have really been a menace for the rest of the rounds. But instead, what we see is a pretty good round overall for the CT side. Opening tactic in mid, taking down Inters in a position where everybody defaults. That's quite common. And also, you got to trust your B player to do moves like this. You throw a flash behind them, they'll take a peek down the stairs. In this situation, he's just responding to utility, not trying to be proactive, but just reactive. And it's just the right amounts. Definitely liking Grim today, for sure.
I feel like he's soaking up all the EU CS he can. Nafany can't see. But it won't deter him. He continues on. And an alternative mid setup now. Not wanting to fall victim to the same thing. Fallen. Eyes on door. Which is, in fact, where Inters has moved over. But Inters playing far more passive. Give props to Liquid for changing it up in middle. Worked out last round.
We've seen this situation way too many times, Scrawny. The Gambit are going to get way too comfortable here.
And then what happens?
And then they win because they've already postured up. Okay, Fallen looking for the gap. Oh, he had a timing. He had a window.
As well.
Oh, you don't want to take that duel.
Elige can't trade it right away. Still stays posted behind default. Bodies here for Gambit. 40 seconds. Everybody nearby for the T side. And now we start to see Grim and Fallen move their pieces back towards mid, so they've peeled themselves away from where they need to be, but there is a flash. There's a flash prime for this pop, and Elige is going to try to make his play, but he doesn't commit. And obviously with their faces pushed up against the ramp, not everybody was blind. Fallen posted with the op, snaps it into Inters. That's bomb drop, 15 seconds to remain. And this is a little bit desperate. The wallbang so close. Hobbit, in fact, is still standing, but Naf, 2 kills versus his teammates, and finally Fallen succeeds.
Oh.
Naf, 3 frags in that 4v4.
Yeah, they had open lines. That's a very nice round from Naf. That was such a really bad start for Liquid. Obviously, Fallen misses an opportunity, but how many times have we talked about this where people try to re-flash or flash retake the A ramp? Yeah, it almost never works. Exactly for that reason. The flash comes out while they're there. Elige swings with it, but he only has a second or two to capitalize on that flash, and you can tuck behind the wall. You can fall back around the corner. You can have multiple players with you that no one knows about, and you almost always die as soon as you don't get that first kill or wipe out every single person while they're blind. It's just not possible. So, in my opinion, that's like the same thing as when you're watching a CT team on Inferno, and they're not taking any map control anywhere. They're just feeling a little bit too slow right now. Liquid, a little bit slow to the jump, but they had the fallback players. They had Nafly rotating over, doing hella work.
He delivers big. 9 kills to his name.
But it really makes me uncomfortable when the one risk someone is willing to take is an op push on short shelf every once in a while. It's just not enough versus Gambit, in my opinion. But hey,
what about that?
I mean, Liquid are up 6 rounds here. They have 6 to 4. So.
Soon to be 7 versus these measly pistols. Elige over top of the smoke. Player down beneath him. Stewie. Ooh, he's got to fall away from this. It's Inters and Shiro to get one in mid and A at the same time. 2v3. Shiro looking to take a little bit of time here, come and join Inters from ramp. One of those curious rounds where Tech9s aren't meant to do much. And yet if we've learned anything across this series, pistols sometimes prevail. So Shiro does get here, and it's not as though there's any kind of dog pile from Team Liquid. They're just keeping it 1-1-1, which means Stewie needs to deliver. And oh, he still only has 11 bullets in the M4. Spam will be cut short. Looks for the head. Fights the man in the background. That's Inters off the Tech9 close, but Fly again going to alleviate the pressure inside this A site. Shiro, he's got a chance. They put the smoke atop the bomb. They tap it yet again, trying to activate Shiro. He's going to move forward here, trying to connect the spray. Damage, and now Nafly going to give enough cover. Grim sticks the defuse through and through the Tech9. Woo! Shiro's able to escape, and that's Gambit still 4 kills, bomb plant, but no round win.
Yeah, he's out of there. Nice try. Good damage done. Honestly, it didn't feel like Liquid were this far in the lead, but this is great for them. I mean, they've got another round. There's been some rambunctious encounters versus pistols from both sides. Started off on round 2, a 2v5 win where Shiro aced versus the USPs. An eco round 1 from Team Liquid, which is some ridiculous kills in a following. Now we're up to round 12. Full strength from both sides. That's what you like to see. Ay. That's an op shot through the wall. Move Stewie over.
The layer of discomfort, but still, I love the commitment. Knows he's in a weird spot, might as well take a play.
Yeah, that can be good. I mean, he actually saw so many people at the same time.
Yep.
So even though they're not ready to push B, Gambit have to think that they could.
Fallen. Flash and tries to hide that tarp, not thick enough. Felice tries to spray for more than one, but he'll just get Hobbit, and that's it. Man advantage here for Gambit. They do eat some nade damage. That could prime Naf if he can connect the headshots. And he's been really good in terms of bailing out Liquid on this A site. Both of Liquid's remaining players attempting spam damage, but just doesn't connect. And we've got Inters now up close. He's going for his plant with bullets soaring by him. Oh, there's damage. And Shiro, well, he'll cut down Naf. So it needs to be Grim, 1v3. And he's got Inters locked on site, but Shiro has the deeper angle. Gambit have the round win, but Liquid still the lead.
Yeah, that was a little bit crazy with the A-ramp plays. Stewie did get a good amount of information, but I like that from Gambit because off of that, when they trade him 1-for-1 and they realize that so much knowledge has been given to Liquid about what their setup is, they don't overthink the situation and they say, all right, well, if we move right now, then Liquid have to be careful about what they do next. Are they going to overemphasize B? Are they going to push through? Have they already? And they put those questions away and they say, okay, let's just continue forward the fast exec. We know you've already got 1 down on the site.
The real reward to be reaped of that last one is just pistols for Liquid.
Yeah.
We haven't seen them this limited. Not ideal. Inters, survives the test, and doesn't lose any damage on the fall. Just reached out and grabbed the ladder.
Still a fan of, Liege peeking aggressively, Fallen playing from that Henny position back behind the yellow. They just hit a great flash and total. They just spammed him down completely. I don't think they saw him at all, but there's nowhere he can go. So it's a very thin tarp. I mean, it's probably just a tarp, which is thin, but
very thin.
Yeah.
Thing is, I've never seen a yellow tarp. I always see blue tarps.
Yeah, blue tarps are big. There's probably some reason that Joey knows for why all tarps are blue. But maybe construction tarps are yellow or...
Pistol stacked up. Oh, that's a thick nade, but it's not going to stop Felice. I love it. Eats all that damage and still just rips Hobbit's head off. 30 seconds to spare. Pistols cracking off. The bigger guns are primed for the smoke push. And here it comes. A desperate attempt, and yet one that still finds a little bit of success. Grim single kill, 3v2. Such little health here, 21 HP combined for what's left of Liquid. So this will be Gambit's 6th round win, and a very real chance, of course, at taking a lead on this T side, and possibly the 2-0 with it.
Definitely shades of Inferno, them clawing back a little bit, keeping the game very competitive in the first half. Again, they're just so good on CT as well. That's the big issue. Liquid looking to cause a very rare loss for Gambit on this map. That's the storyline coming into it. Not amazing guns here as Naflight just has his 5-7, but he'll sacrifice to put together a full kit.
All the nades.
Definitely one of the maps that utility matters the most on CT side. Can never have too much.
Inters has yet to return to Generator ever since Fallen Blue's head off. He's been on Ladder instead every single round
What if he just never did for the rest of his career?
Like that was the nail in the coffin. Yeah. Oh, we've seen Liquid multiple times try to use that gap, but Nafany wins the duel.
No way.
AK bests the M4. Fallen tries to peek deep, will drop Shiro, and now he's just stuck. Combat opping. I believe Hobbit got tagged by that, but it did such little damage, and Fallen falls back with such little HP. A nade on top of it to take him down by an additional 2. 11 health left over.
And he's doing his rounds, getting over to short. He'll take a look down. This is a moment where, yeah, you want to disrespect the information a little bit. Find out that Gambit are no longer there. Approach onto the B site. Emphasis on Grim.
But Ninters, he knew that somebody was just moving through CT, and Axile can win the duel versus Grim on his own.
He ate the flash. He ate the Naf flash.
Oh, because he died?
Yeah, Naf threw a flash, got killed, and then Grim ate that flash and died. Hope he was hungry.
I don't know if flashbangs provide sustenance.
I bet they wouldn't taste very good.
If anything, it's just a mouthful of salt. Feels bad.
Yeah, you're like a military guy. What's inside of a flashbang?
What's inside a flashbang? Light? I don't know.
Paint? A shockwave? I don't know. And is it, if a flashbang popped like right here, would we be deaf?
Yeah, so that's the thing. The real thing is it's just like, I can never remember the difference between a flash and a stun. I feel like flashes are a little bit more, in this, like, you know, it's a bit unrealistic. Because if anything, it just disorients.
Okay.
Just a loud pop and bang.
Yeah.
I don't know. Stunner would know. It's probably thrown a flashbang or two. But yeah, man, it can blow out your eardrums if it's too close.
I have so many questions. I mean, I feel like after 10,000 hours of staring at flashbangs, I would know something about them.
Maybe light's the right answer.
They just put light in it.
Final round of the half. Someone's taking a lead. Just like the first map, as close as can be. Last time it was Liquid. But they're working against the economy. Fallen still has that op. It's been a pretty consistent piece for the CT side, and it's him and Grim at the top of the scoreboard, 11 kills each. One final attempt. We haven't seen too much B aggression.
It's the scarier part of the map to push, that's for sure.
Definitely.
You just save that for once every few rounds.
Although, opening kill for a leash, that's not half bad.
If they do the wall smokes on this round, this is where it'll punish what Liquid have, but they don't know exactly where Liquid are getting off to. And now they're fanning out a bit. However, Fallen dies in the fact he had the op to work with.
Nice nades as well. Elige reveals his position with the weapon swap. Stewie's going to try to play close on short. Now, there's still plenty of time here for Gambit, so no panic needs to sink in yet.
Yeah, Shiro's at his outpost.
But they can justify this A stack because Grim did make that B push. Like you said, every once in a while. And this is one of those rare cases where it could definitely pay off. Stewie's right there at the bottom of the crane inside smoke. And he can hear this utility usage all around him. If Shiro fires another shot, then that could be the chance for Stewie to strike down someone nearby. 20 seconds. I said they had time, but now it's running dry. And Stewie, one and done. Here comes Grim, MP9 from long range. He empties the mag. Naf standing on the box, waiting as Elige tries to give cover with off. Axile will kill the sniper in the back. 7 seconds left over in the 1v1. And Axile, he can plant safely on the opposite side. He's good. Grim tries to run this in. He comes off. Oh, and a headshot. That's what you need for the 1-round lead. Gambit doubled their round count and closed with 4 wins straight.
Welcome everybody. I'm here for the Betway Whose Face Is That? A little piece of content that we're bringing you guys today with nobody other than Config and Tessus. Welcome, gentlemen. It's been a little while. Last time I saw you guys, you were duking it out on the Royal Arena. But we've got a different game to play today. It's not Counter-Strike, but it is still CS related, all right? Whose face is that? We've got 3 pro faces smushed together in some Frankenstein-esque situation, and you guys are gonna guess piece by piece, from top to bottom, one at a time, whose collection of faces it is. Without any further ado, round 1, Tessus and Config. Whose face is that?
You can go first.
You can go first. I will know the bottom one.
From the top. And just like that, the confidence is gone. Config starts.
I think it's Epics.
Correct.
I think that's Cadian.
That is also correct. 2-0. You didn't even know your own teammate, Tessa.
Yeah, I would have guessed it. I
guessed the entire thing.
Yeah.
Who's bottom?
I think it's Fallen.
Correct. 3 for 3, man.
Oh, it broke.
It's because I thought you're punching it. You know?
Okay, sorry.
So yeah, there we have it. That's face number
surely
1.
3 points for me and 0 for you.
Yeah, that's nice for you.
So first round, 3-0 Config. You got it from top to bottom. You guys needed tips though, okay? Don't be too cocky. All right, bro. And now we're gonna do round 2. All right. So second face is up.
How can we not see this? It's Elish.
Correct. Now, if that's Elish at the top, tell me who's in the middle.
You can go, bro. Your turn.
That's the pass, man. It's your chance to bring it back. Now I'll give you the tip. I'll give you the tip.
You have 5 seconds. Oh.
G2.
Oh, it's I'm a nigga one.
I'll take it.
Right, it's not Amanek.
I'll take it,
man. So let's hear it, Config, for the 6-0 sweep, bro.
It's Hunter, right?
Correct.
And then it's Velde.
Boom, 6-0. That's a smoke. Ladies and gentlemen.
No, is it already over?
It's over for now. We've got 2 more faces, but they'll have to tune in for the second episode between Config and Tessus. The first 2 rounds are all the Berserker. We'll see you in a little bit. This is Betway. Whose face is that?
Hopping out. Go.
Marwan. Settle build.
I can reload. I'm a smoke, Okay, can you focus? Oh, you should be focused.
Let's take a second look at that one, okay? As we see Gambit 8-7, we got a replay of Axile in that final round, gets aggressive through the smoke, takes down the 2,
Dude,
and last
1 second. Oh, that's crazy. He had no other play he could possibly make. Grim made the exact right move. He was about to mow him down. Axel committed that plan, he would have died. It was it. It was a beautiful shot.
Sick.
What a shot.
What a kick in the teeth as well.
And he planted in the perfect spot too with 4 seconds left.
Yeah.
Wow.
Nasty.
What a guy, that Axile.
How dare he? Takes away the edge so that Gambit can come into the CT side, and Hobbit's already dead.
Wow.
Grenades blow him into tomorrow.
HE is preferable to Molly sometimes because you know if there are 2 people there, they're both dead. And that smoke would have been able to buy some time for Hobbit. A really solid start to this round.
The 1 to 6.5 odds in favor of Gambit. Map advantage already in the series. A classic place for them to duke it out, and an 8-7 T-side lead.
It's a perfect position here for Liquid. They don't have to overplay it. They can wait for the reaction. They have their flank covered as well. Nafly can just come in last or not do anything at all. Or they go forward with the exec. This is one of those moments where it's a handshake, you know. Gambit know what they're going to do. Said, okay, we'll duke it out.
Whoa. Flash pops at the perfect time, though. Oh, and then they lose Shiro on the fallback. Inter's still trying to find it. Stewie 2K, he's getting his name in this pistol round. As he wraps it back around from short shelf, and Fallen will get his plant. Now, Inter's kills Naf, which makes this one a little bit closer for the retake attempt. Armor on Axile. Inter's looking for his impact. got Elias kind of stranded here mid-sight, but he fights, and good night. It's Stewie 2K in with 3 to tie this game at 8.
Yes, well done. Solid round. And again, just about that sandbags, it's the one extremity as you're coming up the A ramp that you have to have utility to like clear that properly. And if you throw a Molotov, they smoke it. They can sit in there for as long as they want. You're not gonna be able to wall bang them too easily, so getting around and clearing out is so difficult. So 2 well-placed HEs, sometimes a perfect remedy. Everyone will take 100 damage in that zone, especially without armor. You know, I was thinking about this just now where, you know, people don't really flank B as much. And I think it would change the map quite drastically if they simplified the lower part of the map and removed one of the main hallways so you didn't have so many things to watch on the flank.
Yeah.
CTs would be more encouraged to take deep B control and actually continue forward and wrap. And that would make the map more dynamic because then you wouldn't have to sit back on A or just be aggressive on A in order to win.
Or hear me out. What if there was a door at top mid that let you drop down into the elevator shaft?
Another they'd have
Can
to,
you
like,
imagine something like that?
And they could have some lore, like a Kool-Aid guy jumping through the wall to create a hole, and then yeah. No?
No.
Okay, just your idea.
Just the door.
Then.
Just my
Fine.
idea.
I don't get to put the fun idea with the good idea.
Nope.
Okay.
Because it was a bad idea. Because it used to exist. Top mid Mac 10 push. MP9 rather. Nafany tagged up, but nobody really kind of like thorough on clearing him from behind that. This is back-to-back rounds where the flash pop has worked out for Gambit for at least 1 frag. Ump on Axile, the best case scenario. Right now, it's Stewie and Naf still just tearing him apart. So Liquid shooting for that 9, getting that T-side lead in early. And sure enough, it's theirs to hold on to.
Yeah, let's go. Some good entries. Really good clearing the map control. Of course, Gambit, you know, they sit with their hands clasped in their laps, just waiting for this next buy round to come about so they can show Team Liquid what's what. But for now, things look pretty good. This game is so hard to get a read on, you know? I couldn't even tell you who feels better coming out of the first map.
Yeah, it's incredibly close and incredibly messy.
Yeah.
Many rounds won with just like the lesser buys, and
it's like Art Attack.
Is that guy who used to draw with salt?
Well, he used like anything, but it was the old, the show we watched in Canada.
Let's do it.
When we were kids.
So it turns out that the real-life flashbang is designed to blind you for 5 seconds and a bang of more than 170 decibels. Okay? It's made with pyrotechnic metal oxidant mix of magnesium or aluminum and an oxidizer such as potassium nitrate. Can also cause a loss of balance. Thank you, Leonard from Tech, for filling me in.
That's how you get vertigo.
So I feel like light was the right answer.
Yeah, so it's like light, basically. Okay. That's pretty cool.
Pretty cool. I feel like I would have been an alchemist back in the day. You know, those guys mixing all sorts of things together. Eye of newts. Toad feet.
Web toes.
Axile opens. This is that one ump, man. Don't you dare. Don't you dare do something nasty. Okay, we just talked about how it's hard to get a grasp of what the hell is going on, and it's because of rounds like this. An ump kill to start, and then a USP frag for the 5v3 to Gambit's
That
favor.
was kind of a cool USP frag, though, wasn't it? They both waited for that specific wrap instead of splitting their attention towards the ramp. Wow.
Now they're going to feel emboldened. Stacking it up on top of this A site. Oh! Nap does it twice! There's no way. One more? Yeah, you got it. I mean, you've got to at that point. But of course, they are still nearby. Napfly, 4 kills, bailing them out of trouble, as did Shiro in that pistol. But remember, they still have Axile on the ump. And he was the one best equipped for this round if Gambit were ever going to win it. And he's inside of the smoke. He decides to charge forward. He catches the player crossing. Oh my god, dude. So little HP. 3 health left on Naf.
And that's
he
an
does
ace.
it all.
Yeah, he gets all 5. Any naffers?
Wow. That's a Naf round if I've ever seen one.
It's kind of an anagram for Nafany's round. Any naffers? Any Naf?
And he gets tagged to 3.
Yeah, that's nuts. That's nuts.
Woo!
It looked like Stewie was about to cheer for him winning. For Axel winning that crazy 1v2. He said, I'm going to prove Moses wrong.
No matter the cost.
No matter the cost. Just like in the first half, another very scary second round.
Yep. But now we've got guns up from Gambit, so... Oh, my goodness. And look at that. Look at that damage. Look at those HP bars.
They're all limping.
Grim, Elige, and Fallen all sub 50 health.
And no one knows about it except them.
Yeah. Flash is on the point. Hobbit sticking around with this smoke. It's all about calculated risk. Nafany, really? Thinking about it? Drops the smoke. Hobbit will find Stewie before he fades away. And that smoke obviously on top of the sandbags. Very weird for him to work around with, but he's looking for something, and as is Naf. Oh, down goes Fallen.
Oh, they can't even punch him. Now they're scared about even wrapping. And that's 200 HP players down. Oh, Alicia's out. Grim's gone too.
Solid stuff. Naf all that's left. AK in hand, pops up, drops Nafany in a 1v4. He's outnumbered and unfortunately not working with the time to his favor. This was a consistency, right? Again, so let's get back to that conversation about when teams are only feeling like the one thing they can do is either push and opt to a short shelf peek or go for that like a flash retake on ramp.
Yeah,
and we saw Liquid play it and it didn't work.
Yes.
Compare that to what Gambit just did in this round, and I think that's clear evidence that Gambit, they're more comfortable in this position.
Absolutely.
And they've got so many more strategies to play.
No, you know the team's playing well, playing smart, playing lucid when they've got a lot of active aggression into this angle specifically, not around the corner and way back. And here is just perfect use of the smokes from both Hobbit and Nafany. And Hobbit is the guy who will just come in every once in a while to make things worse. And that's beautiful. Nafany and Elige going head-to-head is the storyline of the half, I think, here on the ramp. Really love watching Elige play this A-ramp, but of course, you know, Nafany's one of the best A-ramp players in the game. Maybe the best.
Maybe the best, he says. That's got the Coach Lau seal of approval. Solo weapon for the Liquid. It's Naf on the AK. There's been one thing in this series that's prevalent. It's upsets like these. As he gets boosted up a second time, he takes a ton of damage. And there's not even anybody else with armor, so... Now, oh, and Axile with the homing missile, catching Grim on the fallback. Poor guy. See you next round. This is going to be a tie game at 10 apiece.
It's pummel party everywhere they go. Only because of the Shiro, I thought he hit it.
Right, I was ready. Naf trying to hop up. CZ in hand as his teammates leave. Another collection of smokes here dropped by Gambit. A much more passive setup than the round prior, but one that still tethers 3 players within the site. No easy feat to break through that defense. Elige going to be boosted up here, trying to use that one AK to crack open the B site. Axile in the meantime will frag Stewie on the stairs, and then Elige gets the trade. That's the opening they need. Naf tries to sprint into the A site, and now everybody else from Gambit comes running over, but that is still an open site for the bomb plant. Missed smoke, but so be it. Post plant nonetheless. And 2 weapons in hand here for Liquid. If they walk into these rifles, there is still a chance, but now Elige with a fresh mag has to hunt 3 more players. He tapped into the first 2, and he goes back, dealing damage to Hobbit, but not being able to push it over the line. Maybe if he only had some armor.
Precision gamer Elige.
Whew, there it is.
That was quite nice.
Tied at 10.
But ultimately, it's a round where, yeah, we come into that retake, Gambit have almost no utility. Why? Because Liquid ate it all. The entire round, they were taking grenades. They were falling back off the smokes and the flashes. Everything was going so well from just a utility perspective from Gambit. Liquid didn't even see their murderers. Now we're tied up. It's a super solid start for Gambit. Coming into these rifles. Can't let him get too comfortable. All right, Shiro. Oh, he'll take the crane peek. Honestly, I feel like he's been doing that a lot less lately, but there's one really big find.
Now our eyes fall on Nafany.
We'll likely see him dissipate, leave with the smoke as it comes up, or they re-smoke, but he's got a teammate with him. And see, this, you know, this proactivity, that's what you need from the CT side. They're encouraged to do it, of course, because it's 4v5, but that'll keep Holland on high alert. Oh, it's a very threatening smoke for Hobbit's position, but...
Little gap. Oh, makes the most of it. Fallen's right there, and Hobbit's found an angle to work around it. If Fallen still thinks he's short side, then he could walk into this death, and that would put us back to the even 3v3. Fallen needs to land this shot. Hobbit, 12 health, and Fallen's got him dead to right. So this is ramp 1 here by Liquid. Meanwhile, Inter's left to his own devices.
They're not going to walk at B, are they?
Oh, if they do, he's ready. And all it takes is one pop-off from either of the Gambit players to turn this one upside down. It's Grim with the headshot, and that's what Liquid need to secure this one. Their gun round kicks it off nicely for the T side.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, Axel, this 1v4 situation. He's got a Gambit jersey on. They don't go for 1v4s.
Not allowed.
That ain't happening.
It's in the contract.
Yeah. Groove's right behind him. Not gonna do that in front of Groove. Wow. Nice round for Fallen, man, all the way around. The awareness, just every single time a re-aggression came about, Fallen was there. And the open and kill on Shiro, too. Those are hard to come by, man. Seriously. I was like, just watching, I was like, man, he really does not peek Crane a lot the last time I watched him play. And here it is. He does it once. Fallen punishes right away. He's probably not going to do that again for the rest of the half, knowing him. But
what's he fall back into if it's not the Crane piece?
He just starts off somewhere else. Yeah, as opposed to doing the Crane. But
have to keep our eyes upon it. But this round's got Fallen's name on it. This is the first one that you're talking about.
Yeah.
And then obviously the follow-up versus Nafany, who comes creepy crawling down in the 4v5. Felt like he had to make the play. 12 HP here for Hobbit. Just emerges on the edge and Fallen quick fingers.
Squinted for that one.
3 frags for Liquid's Brazilian Opper. The tension is thick.
They've had very tough games and some surprising wins on this map in Team Liquid. But this result would bring a lot of the recent losses for Gambit, even though they hadn't lost it until recently, really. A lot closer together. You know, if they we're starting to see them become a little bit more frequent.
If Navi is losing on Nuke, okay, and if Gambit is losing on Vertigo, then what the hell is going to happen in 2022?
Hell is freezing over.
It's climate change. Solo AK Axile, let's see it. Okay, Anthony, what are you up to? Launders, explain that.
He tripped. Have you ever not tied your shoelaces and taken a step to the side? Have some compassion, man.
Sorry, man. I wear Crocs. All right. Well, that one was a little bit awkward.
You've definitely seen me in Crocs.
I'm trying to think if I have.
All through Copenhagen. Remember I had those. I had Merrills. Yeah.
It's you and Machine. Oh! Nice, Nate.
Let's go.
On the money. And listen, Inters has been there pretty consistently, so why not try to, you know,
absolutely
predict the spot?
It's basically about, like, is it, when it comes to that part, it's either right behind the signpost, I think some call it Dupree, or back at quad.
Yeah.
I guess Dupree would be the half wood wall.
So on point. Very nice. It's always fun when you see those predicted positions. 35 seconds. And we're going to have the commitment from Liquid in the 5v3 towards the A site. Axile at this point, maybe just save? And he's still flirting with the idea, coming back around that CT spawn. Tons of cover and the smoke wall. Uncontested is Stewie 2K's bomb plant.
Smoke malls are real malls sometimes.
12-10 Launders. Team Liquid starting to rack it up on this T side. They started with a 3-0 start.
Why is it that you're not supposed to count your chickens? Oh, because they could just be eggs?
Yeah.
Right.
There you go. Look, you look at that. You figured that one out on your own, buddy.
Some mysteries are...
There we go.
I'm capable. Used a lot of words with that whole flashbang explanation, so that means you're probably lying to me.
I didn't show my sources, so you never know. Oh, that gives me vertigo. Imagine if you could climb all the way up there. That would be sick.
Yeah, well,
Okay.
there are definitely videos on YouTube of people doing that.
Oh, that kind of stuff?
Yeah.
Those crazy climbing. Oh!
Yeah.
This is the moment he tripped.
The moment that Connor had absolutely no sympathy. He said, "What the hell are you doing, Nafany?"
Hey, man. He died. Of course, in rounds like that, we don't put too much under the microscope. It's these ones we like to focus on. Weapons up. Shiro back with his op in hand. Team Liquid leading by 2. I think both teams recognized that this could have been a close series, that it was going to be a bit of a bloodbath, and so far it's delivered.
Yeah, for sure. And this half is more normalized. I feel like Liquid are playing a lot better in this half. You know, even though they did well in the first. Both teams looking more comfortable here. Looks like Grim's going to be leading the charge up short this time around. Bomb steadily behind. Looking for this A-lean. Nice round of pick. No way. Oh my god, that is such a huge win for Hobbit. Man, was that all off of a timing or did something come through the tarp?
Yeah, you never know. You never know. That's why it should be plywood.
It'd be more ridiculous if it came through the plywood.
That's true. Have they fixed that A-Site Inferno one yet? Where you're standing on the...
That was the most egregious for sure. By a huge margin.
Yeah, but you know what? They fixed the water step bug. So I'll give some credit where it's due.
Yeah. 4 years to the next update.
Hey, man. Four years, man. That's more than the average lifespan of video games nowadays.
Even shorter if you play Counter-Strike.
Stewie 2K. Ooh, dude. He's gonna make this one aggressive. Inter's just buying time on quad. Oh, they haven't suspected this. Easy. Oh, or maybe not. Whoa, able to turn it back around. He just kind of forgot about Naf. He's like, yeah, somebody will pick up those pieces. Someone will wipe away the crumbs. And sure enough, it is Gambit with an 11th.
He said, haha, you're funny. I kill you last.
Pretty surprised they just kind of went right by quad. Didn't suspect it.
Yeah.
You know, Inters is normal. Like you were saying before,
he was
you're either behind the first box or it's quad.
Oh, he just got a great timing. See, Hobbit just spammed it.
Good.
Didn't see anything, yeah. Just
And yet, here we are talking about bugs.
Yeah.
You know, for no reason.
Yeah. Why talk about insects? A second timeout will be called, and it's definitely far from over from both these squads. We're seeing a lot of good stuff here in the second half. And that round, I mean, that was a very nice timing spam from Hobbit, and that's just what it is on the A ramp. It's going to be the smoke spams, the wall bangs. That is the nature of the site. So you can't get too mad if you're Grim. You got to shake it off. There's still another buy coming up in the next few seconds. Saw one huge round from Fallen on the A ramp with that AWP. Everyone at full strength. They'll try to work it slowly. Saddest part there for Liquid is they picked a great round to come up the A ramp. It was the one that Gambit completely vacated it. They were not on the premises, and still Hobbit just casually putting down spams got his opening kill. Easy as you like, as Chad would say.
Good damage. Lee's gonna have to fight with half health. Bit of a duel here. Nafany standing out in the open.
Look at, just pay attention to the damage that's coming through these smokes. I mean, this is the game. Right now, Liquid aren't winning.
Oh, what?
My god, dude, no way. That's just a parting
What's
gift as
that
well.
through?
Literally, the tarp timing again.
This time the other way. Inter is up on construction, just allowed for them to walk out middle. Nafany, in the meantime, also ices out Elige. There's the entirety of the A ramp lockdown, and Inters. This is a sick off angle, but Stewie 2K able to survive the fight. Naf, in the meantime, walks by quietly, tries to duel versus Elevator, and Axile puts one to the back of his head. So Gambit tie this game at 12. But that A fight,
damn, dude.
Tooth and nail for every single inch.
Absolutely.
And Gambit come out on top.
Right when Liquid want to it's just a part. It's literally just a timing shot. Oh, wow. I mean, so lucky to get the one with Hobbit and then that one back to back.
What is that?
They're both off timings that they're right about, so that much you can give them credit for. That's a frustrating one, you know. You can't really explain that to your team. That's just tough. And with that...
Oh, my God, dude.
All the breath from their lungs. They've got...
a millimeter through the...
Oh, that's so close, yeah. Poor Grimothy.
That's disgusting.
But this is... it's the game. This is the game. This is what Gambit are good at, too, man.
Uh-oh. Snap. Ooh, okay. We go with the turtle tactics. A little crab crawl.
Yeah, and they freak out a little bit, and I think some of this running was heard.
Ooh, and then a dink towards A site. Shiro's on 3 HP. Come on now.
They're chasing his ass down.
You got no... Oh, and Grim wants some sweet revenge. He falls to 37 health, bombs planted. Remember, Shiro barely alive at this point. Molly deep via Lee. She gets out of trouble. Falls away.
But they know Sandbags is clear now. This helps the scaling so much. 3 up. They're watching flanks here. Shiro's low. But these pistols, they want to try to do something crazy because they are... Their health car is looking like a staircase.
There's the smoke on bomb. Molotov deep on short. Oh my God.
What?
He's inside of it.
Oh, he's
inside of it. 2 seconds. Oh, it's close. Are you kidding? Nafly towards middle. Crush walks in. Another defuse attempt from Naf, and Naf. Oh, it's right there.
Oh my God.
Elige is able to take it with the pistol, but explain yourself, Nafly.
They can see what we see, dude. Yo.
What game is this guy playing?
That's crazy. He needed to do that. For sure he needed to do that. He got right up into the smoke. They were all stuck on the A ramp. Naf did not hear the fuse, I don't think. Didn't start swinging. But he came to play.
Ladies and gentlemen, you were watching professional Counter-Strike.
Yeah, and that's what this map used to be about, right? But now the meta's moved it down the ramp, which is nice. But every once in a while, you get around like this still.
Back then, they used to use guns.
Yeah, we're taking it back to the 1600s.
I can't believe that he literally just crouch crawled into the smoke and shanked him in the knees. Well, that's something. And now because of it, Liquid 13-12. You know, in terms of the textbook, Gambit have the edge. A-ramp plays, they've been great.
Yeah, totally.
But you
but some redemption for Grim, you know?
Yeah.
Poor guy. He's gone through hell and back so far.
You start throwing some wild antics into the mix, and maybe because you were this close already, Liquid can still just push it over the line.
Smoke is so brutal. Oh, they're looking over 2 sides of it. And Nafany can actually walk over to clear out short if he wants to. Uh-oh. Oh, he'll start to leave. This is a weird spot. I mean, they didn't actually get that much out of the round so far, so maybe not a bad position here for Team Liquid. But look how low they are on utility. They have 2 smokes for this wall. They can molly the jump up if they'd like to. But they can't throw too many more default grenades. No room for a fake, really. 20 seconds. They have to go now.
It's a pressure cooker of a game. Nafany standing in the open on short side. Just relying on the utility to be respected, but Grim...
Okay.
He shows no respect, runs right through it. Inter's able to find him with the bank through the elevator window. That frag falls onto Grim. Bomb carrier is able to exit back towards short direction, and we've got a 4v4 in the post. These rounds have been wild, and this one is no different. Hobbit already on top of site with the smoke. Fallen comes in, strikes him down. Stewie's got the headshot versus Axile. And a 4v2 is a comfortable spot for Liquid to take 14.
Okay, let's go. Perfectly timed peek on the post plant. You gotta love that. Liquid, it came down to the wire, but they had the exact right amount of utility. They didn't have anything more to use. They got that smoke wall up, used it effectively. Put that plant down. I can't believe they're taking 14 here. I feel like Gambit looked really, really good in the couple of rounds they've won, but in this round, Gambit did not get any compensation down the ramp, even though it feels like Nafany's been a terror a number of times here. They had to fall back, didn't get the damage off, and as soon as you don't hurt Grim, he'll kill you. And that Nafany frag is a jackknife that opens the site up. Yeah, Inters trades it, but it's what allows the plant. That short shelf player would have stopped the plant if he didn't die just then.
The fact that Grim also just runs through the Molotov to get Nafany while his head was turned.
Yeah, that's the kind of energy we need.
Just Grim things.
But is it over? So the op on Shiro. We've got pistols still for Gambit. They've got the comfort of knowing a map is in their back pocket. But even just this win alone would be pretty enormous to do it on Vertigo.
Oh my. Taking the leash. What?
Yo, okay.
What?
One hell of a trade. I don't even know.
What are we? Oh, and Fallen doubles up his 19th in the map.
Okay.
Catching Shiro. Nafany just wants to get his hands on one of these weapons. But he's actually not being burned out. This is perfect for Nafany. Peeks in with just the pistol, but he's stuck because of the fire. He will escape just in the nick of time. And then all of a sudden, the M4 arrives, but they're already walking up ramp. And Grim catches Inters off guard. Nafany, hands on his weapon, dying to Grim again. And this is it, the 3-man setup for Liquid to secure 15 and 3 map points to push this all the way.
That is pretty exciting. They actually pulled it off and got to match point. It looked like it was that first kill. The flank from Hobbit to take out Elige. But then they didn't kill Grim. And as soon as they didn't kill Grim, he kills them. He's doing that consistently. I wonder how many kills he'd have if he didn't die in the ways he did on the ramp. Again, great couple maps from him. You'd love to see that. A little bit of banter before the bomb goes off. And we'll have to find out if Gambit can take this the distance.
Looking for a gun. Look at... Ooh, he stretches for it just in time. That's a bonus.
Whoa, okay.
Don't forget about that one. But this is that first shot.
Oh, wow. What a trade, man.
Listen, what goes around comes around. You know what I mean? I feel like Gambit have gotten away with a couple of those cheeky tarp frags.
Absolutely. It's what it is.
Why not? Fallen. Empowered by it.
Was that a Wookiee?
He looks the part. No offense.
Yeah.
It's a nice.
No, the beard's going, yeah.
Beard's getting thick.
The beard's going.
All right, man. 3 map points. Let's go.
Yes.
Oh, man. On Vertigo.
They got an interesting pool versus each other. Got Overpass up next, potentially, if Liquid can do... Can Liquid really beat Gambit? I mean, winning Vertigo versus Gambit, and like you said, winning Nuke versus... Or they didn't win Nuke versus Na'Vi. No, they didn't have to play Nuke versus Na'Vi, but they just beat them.
Yeah, a victory.
Yeah, a victory versus Na'Vi.
That part itself is the more, that's just unbelievable.
Already ridiculous. Again, Gambit, 78% win rate on Vertigo across the year, the whole year. Only to lose to a dead team. We'll see.
That's because this dead team has death itself.
They've got guns, they've got money.
First man in.
Imagine being that brave.
For a second, held his nerve. Bank frag. Not gonna find its target.
Wow, that was a nice recession. They came back. They baited a little utility. They broke the setup, and this is where Gambit are the weakest. When they've got him off the ramp. This is step 1. Surely not going to leave. Fallen always has a bomb, but you got him alone with the op and the bomb in this position.
And he's just extended out where anybody could peek him on the deep shell.
If he dies here, I mean, that would just be...
I'm so nervous. Oh, Hobbit losing an elbow.
Oh my god.
Goes for the reload as well. Dude, what is Fallen?
Well, he's got that confidence. I mean, he had some big rounds so far.
Yeah, you know what? Sure. Do it.
Run with it.
Go for it. 3 map points, 35 seconds. But a sandbags, man. Shiro the Sandman.
Oh.
About to sprinkle that sleeping dust on top of this play. They're not going to check it. And what about some trigger discipline?
No.
First one goes deep. He sprays for 3. Oh. Shiro, big multi-kill to keep Gambit alive and kicking. And he's ready for a little bit more. Stewie over the top of the crane. Nafany's going to come in with 1. It's all on Grim. He's dead. And they didn't check the sandbags.
Why is it always the sandbags, no matter what the map?
It's always the sandbags.
That causes the most undignified losses. What a move, though, from Shiro, huh?
Go to sleep.
Trigger discipline, lined it up perfectly. He was about to get cleared as well. He was about to get cleared. They thought about it. After they had the smokes up, they got nothing else to look at. Yeah, it's these sandbags, man. They're strong, but only especially if you don't clear them.
That's what happens, though. You start playing against that clock, steps get skipped.
That's true. That is something to think about. Wow, that was a very solid opportunity in terms of posturing, in terms of map control. Didn't take any damage on the ramp again.
Grim's right there. Oh, Nafany, hands busy right above it. Do you dare?
Oh, they're a little scared.
Got Fallen in between fire.
Hey, they've actually achieved almost an equal position once again in the following round, and maybe a little bit faster as well.
This could be perfect. Alicia's right there. Right there. Easy execution into the back of Alicia's head. But then as he wraps around, it's Hobbit there to trade. At least they're two, ready for it. And enters. Oh, he just lost his teammate over the shoulder.
Oh my
Hobbit,
God.
head popped. And Fallen continues to try and set up shop, calling for Bomb to come over.
Oh, such a dangerous play for Inters.
Tough spot. Fallen's right there again. It's close. Oh. And the flash. Those flashes just don't hit.
They're always desperate. They're always desperate. And Fallen right now is playing the punishment game to its maximum.
Man advantage.
Bomb is going to go back to B, but now A is open for business once again. Two great players left over here for Gambit fighting.
It's got to be Shiro, though. Axile's so far away. Tidbits of utility. Frag goes over. Damage? Yes.
Oh
substantial. A quarter health for Shiro as he just tucks his head back down. They begin to wrap around the ramp. And the shots not quite on the mark. Fallen's able to get over towards short. Axile is now here. And as he pushes through that smoke, it's gone unwatched. Axile quickly on the heels of Fallen. Stewie gets over towards the sandbags. Fallen spotted, tagged down to 32. Smoke for Axile if they need the defuse. And Naf looks to give a little cover. It's so tough to get Fallen out of this position. Shiro with a kit as well. Also now tapping that bomb and trying to cause a little bit of a flustered moment here for Liquid. Axile's got one. They start to push in. Naf alleviates the pressure. Shiro goes down and Liquid will push this the distance.
Wow.
Overpass needed to separate Liquid and Gambit. It's not elimination, it's an upper bracket run, and this is the team that beat Na'Vi.
That's crazy.
On the cusp of a Gambit win too.
Dude, that's not many losses on Vertigo for Gambit this year. And the
world.
This is nuts, man. The fact that Liquid are able to do this, Overpass is a whole nother game. I mean, who knows where that could go. That is pretty impressive. Some heroic rounds from Fallen.
Yes.
Some solid rounds out of Grim.
Yes.
Just off the jump. And that is even surviving some very tragic losses. Hell, they could have taken Inferno. I mean, at the very least, it's incredibly competitive.
That it is. And as this one goes to Overpass, someone's walking away with the win. Liquid currently heads held high. We'll see you in a moment for map 3.
They basically went from being the number one team in the world to not really winning a lot.
They were really close, but in the end, Cloud9 stole it from them.
It's a shame, honestly, that they didn't win a major because it was probably Nico's only chance to win one.
I think that the team that could have been around a little bit longer was the C9 roster with Golden, Flusha, Tim, Rush.
I really wish the Cloud9 roster worked out because I'm obviously fans of Floppy and Zeppa.
But I do think that they were a good team, that they had a lot of potential. If they could have figured out the logistics side of it a little bit better, I think that they could have been good, and I think that they still could have been like a thriving team, maybe with 1 or 2 changes.
My ex-teammate Floppy, like he's a great guy and he's a great player. It's just I don't think the team got the chances they deserve.
The old Mousesports team, you know, that won the Pro League and all those tournaments, it was really surprising to me that they didn't end up winning more tournaments. You know, they basically went from being the number one team in the world to not really winning a lot in the online phase of Counter-Strike. So that was like quite surprising to me, actually.
I mean, the phase roster they had with Karrigan and Guardian, that was a pretty good roster.
I don't know if it's the first phase or the second one that went to the grand finals on the major, on the Boston major.
I think it was just a superstar team, and they won a lot of events, but they just didn't win the major, basically.
I mean, I think after that, the team just went to a slump. But on the paper and on like all the names they had, I mean, they were like a superstar team. And I think if they managed to win that major, I think it would be like a total different storyline nowadays.
It was sad for them that they never won a major. They were really close, but in the end, Cloud9 stole it from them.
I think they were super strong, and if they were like on point and like getting the flow of the game, honestly, they were really, really unstoppable. Like even Astralis in their prime had big troubles against them and even lost in grand finals against them in a couple of tournaments. It's a shame, honestly, that they didn't win.
Another absolute nail-biter, but Liquid push Gambit over the edge. They fall from their own map pick, and with that, we're at 1 map apiece in this best-of-3 series. And we spoke about so many positives coming into this ground for Gambit. The amount of teams they've beaten on this map this year alone, somehow Liquid add their name to the list of teams that have beaten Gambit.
Presente, Professor.
Okay.
Fallen has showed up, 21 kills, Jacob. I know you hate to see it. I know you hate Fallen, right? Personally, I know you hate this guy. No, jokes aside, Fallen 21 kills, 13 of those with the AWP. A lot of impact from him in this game. You can never know who's calling with Liquid, but being able to come back and win this game on the T side, that was pretty impressive stuff.
I would agree. And as you said, a lot of impact with the AWP from Fallen. Even with the rifles as well, we see a couple of these highlights, bringing out the Galil, bringing out the M4. Fallen, who hasn't had the best time in Team Liquid as of lately, he's getting better, just like the rest of the team. I think that's the sentiment I'm taking away from this, because when we came into Vertigo, like on paper, there was no way Liquid should be able to beat a team like Gambit on this map. But I think, again, we may underestimate the fact that we are on land, that we are feeling the pressure mounting on Gambit, and the experience coming out from guys like Fallen, like Elise, like Nafly, who once again played well. Liquid just have a lot of different strings to play off, whereas for Gambit, when they're not playing their A game, I feel like their B game is not that strong.
Yeah, so let's break it down what specifically happened in that map. Where was the kind of turning point for you where it's like, actually, yeah, Liquid have the ability to be closing this one out?
Well, I think obviously that eco round that they won, that madness that we witnessed towards the end, right? That was the final point. I know Jacob had something lined up for this one.
Yeah, we do have the video showcasing it right here, and once again you can just see Gambit being caught off a little bit by the map designer Vertigo, right? They lose control over the bomb site and all of a sudden they have to retake the bomb site once again, which on Vertigo can be super, super tough. Despite you having a lot of utility, you still get into some very uncomfortable positions, uncomfortable duels, and the Nafly making this dirty little play, going inside the smoke, not even aware that the guy is defusing to begin with, gets the first kill, and at this point it's just over for Gambit right here. Naf continues. Elise is there to help him, and I think Squan said that you're watching professional Counter-Strike, and I initially just broke out, no you're not. This is not professional Counter-Strike. This is not Counter-Strike at a high level, but it's fun and it was well played by Nef.
Yeah, no, it was well played indeed, and then sort of going on from that, just unfortunately Gambit just didn't seem to be able to get their sort of feet back into the game.
Yeah, they lost a couple of those as well, and that's something that you'd never see Gambit lose 3 rounds like that online, right? Like one of the things they were really, really good at was not making mistakes, right? And just not gifting you rounds. And here they gifted a few to Liquid, and they welcomed it with open hands.
How much are you putting it down to that factor then? Because that was a big narrative coming into this game, considering, we're looking at Liquid and we're saying that is one of the biggest reasons that they have been finding success since they've come back onto land. The fact that there's, 4 of the players at least, are so experienced on these stages. And then for the side of Gambit, they were the kings of the online era. There's a lot of questions coming back onto these grounds, this situation, because being online, a totally different experience playing online.
Yes, I think we've seen it time and time again, that the Gambit we saw online and the Gambit we're watching online is just not the same team yet. Janko said it as well. They're young, they're very young, all of them. The average age of the team is around 18, 19 years of age. Then, of course, Hobbit is dragging that average up. But outside of that, there's not a lot of experience on the big stage just yet. Slowly but surely, they're getting there. Slowly but surely, they're learning. And I also heard and talked to James about it, the fact that Nafany said that they're not getting as much help from the coach and Groove as well, communication-wise, idea-wise. Maybe we are witnessing Gambit, being a little bit suffocated by the fact that they don't have that coach's voice in their head 24/7, as many teams throughout the history have made a problem.
I think also for Gambit, they just need someone else to get hyped up as Nafani does, right? Like, because when you just have one guy and then when it's all quiet, when you're losing, like then you stuff just starts lingering there and you're thinking about it instead of just moving on to the next round, you know? Like you can see Esta getting more pumped because no one else on the team is. It's just how the personalities are for NIP. Well, here maybe Inter's, you know, he's the support player. Like just make yourself, you know, like drill yourself into doing it, right? Like try to get the other guys a bit more because everyone's so quiet. Even Hobbit, who's the veteran, he's just a quiet guy, right? And in those moments, you need someone to really just step up and lead, right? Not in game, but just be a leader of man.
Well, as Liquid managed to equalize this series, we do have a few words from Adren ahead of moving into that third and final map for Overpass.
I got Adren with me between the maps, and Adren, let me start with one thing. Not only are the players loud, I think I saw and heard you shouting a bit as well. What's going on?
Maybe a little bit, you know, trying to have some fun, you know.
Go out with a bang, you know, enjoy the last moments of it all. But that Vertigo, that was impressive. We know you guys could play it. I was speaking to Groove before in the break between when they won the first map. He was saying, yeah, we got to take them seriously. Yeah. But when you guys started getting rolling, they didn't have the answers then. You just kept hitting the A site.
Yeah, we were just being very patient with it, honestly. Like, we were trying to scrap together some last-minute things of, like, because it feels like we haven't played Vertigo forever, and they're a really good team. So, yeah, we just ended up just being super patient, waiting out their nades, and then just hitting them when they had no utility left.
And do you think you guys are kind of shouting them down as well? I see Stewie doing it, even falling doing it. You guys are just having a whale of a time.
Yeah, we were just having some fun shouting, you know.
And now Overpass. Your Overpass looked really good last time around, right? This is something you guys have a lot of comfortability on, I guess, right, on your CT sides especially. Is this where you get it done? Is this where you make another upset come through?
Yeah, we're super comfortable on Overpass. Like, honestly, it was a coin flip between what map we picked, Inferno or Overpass, because we're super comfortable on it. So, yeah, I mean, they play pretty similar to Na'Vi, and I think we beat them. So, you know, we can beat them too.
There we go. That's what I like to see. Good luck, Dren.
Side of Gambit hearing that, you know, we know that Liquid haven't really been practicing as a team, and he was saying, I can't even remember the last time we played Vertigo.
And also, I thought Liquid was going to be a little bit frustrated by the way they lost Inferno, and they weren't going to be patient enough on Vertigo, right? Well, you know, Adren just said it. Yeah, we were just focused on being patient and ending the rounds late, and it worked great for them. And I'll tell you something, we were talking about Gambit's Vertigo this year. Let's talk about Liquid's Overpass. They haven't lost it since the player break. Like in the second half of the year, they haven't lost it. They lost Overpass 3 times this year. They're 17-3 on the map. Like this is low-key. Liquid is the best team in the world on Overpass, right? So this is actually real danger zone now for Gambit.
I agree, because I would say the same about Gambit, that they used to have one of the best overpasses in the world, and they used to have one of the best verticals in the world, but I do feel that the more I see Gambit on LAN, the more I get the sense that this is just not the same team. And I think that plays into the mentality of Team Liquid as well. They're smelling blood right now. They feel that when they're on the server with Gambit, they can go up against them. They can feel them. They can maybe even outshoot them firepower-wise. So right now, I don't think Liquid are afraid at all.
And how mental is it that Liquid is 100% on this map with only winning 1 in 5 pistols? Like that just tells you how proficient they are, that they don't need that good start to win the map. They can still claw their way back. And you could tell in the Na'Vi game, there wasn't any like super, you know, rushes or expos or anything like that, like strategies. No, it's just default, understanding the map really well, taking control, like being patient and just playing together. And that's a problem for Gambit. They really have to step up compared to how they played on Vertigo.
Would you agree then that that's what we should be expecting to see from Liquid coming into this? You know, not doing anything too flashy, too unexpected, but just playing some really solid default Counter-Strike.
I would say so, especially on the CT side. They win almost 70% of their CT side rounds, and it's super, super solid. We saw it against Na'Vi as well. They only needed to win 9, but they won 9-3 to end up the game. And yeah, they won 5 in a row, you know, the past 3 months, and they haven't really been that close. 16-11, 16-12. They always have a little bit to give off.
I also want to see how Shiro performs on this map, because a couple of times in that second half, Fallen had his number. Like he was just waiting for it, and Shiro just walked into his crosshair, right? Sometimes that can get into your head as an opera, and he needs to reset. Like everyone on Gambit needs to show up on this third map, because Liquid's players will. They need to show up indeed, as this is last chance saloon to continue on in this upper bracket here at the World Finals. It all comes down to Overpass. Will it be Liquid or will it be Gambit taking the win? We're going to find out with Connor and Mo after this.
come from all over the world, bringing skills that belong to a select few. You have been training for years and years to be here. And along the way, you probably had to explain yourself more than once. But now I hope your explaining days are over.
COVID-19 can be characterized as a pandemic.
Transitioning online was really difficult.
I was like, how long is this gonna last?
This was now our day-to-day life and we had to adjust to it.
I'm still able to do my job. I'm still able to pay my bills.
We obviously all miss playing in front of you guys. You guys give us that energy and that hype that we need.
At a time of unprecedented uncertainty, Counter-Strike didn't even stutter. Counter-Strike didn't skip a beat.
It is an absolute fight, an everyday fight that doesn't ever stop.
You gotta fight and you gotta claw and you gotta cry and you gotta battle.
Every year become more harder and harder. You never know who's gonna win.
I got one question, Copenhagen.
Can you let me hear you roar?
Yeah, that's the trailer for our Ready Up pilot episode.
Dude, make sure you catch that.
Saturday, I believe. Blast Premier YouTube. Make sure you guys go check it out. Tons of great content. And Betway odds still in the favor of Gambit as we get ready to go map 3 between Liquid and Gambit. It's not elimination, but it is an upper bracket run. There's an upper bracket final spot on the line.
I mean, you know who's in the lower bracket, so.
Navi.
Yeah, not fun. Not fun at all.
Sorry, why are they down there? Thanks to who?
Thanks to this team right here on your screen, folks.
Can you believe it?
The
Liquid.
North American heroes.
Wow.
And South American. American heroes.
Hell.
And Upper North American. Carried by Canadian, actually.
You said it. Not
Casted by Canadians, carried by Canadian. I don't know, man. Something's going on.
Something in the water.
Something good about Canada, that's for sure.
The murky, dirty waters of Overpass.
Or Lake Ontario. Sometimes it's hard to tell.
Where this series is going to end, folks. Buckle up. We've also got another best of 3 after this. So plenty of Counter-Strike still to come your way.
Oh, yeah.
You thought you were sleeping? Not tonight.
No. You're going to be late. You're going to be late for everything tomorrow.
But you'll be able to tell them about all the crazy things
So many
Nafly did
stories.
inside of Smokes.
Yes. All the crab walk knife frags that Nafly got.
Still not over it. So let's, I mean, we got a pistol round coming. Maybe I pick your brain in a second here, depending on if they go long or bathrooms. Gonna go for the peak.
This is what we call the Gob B strat. Okay, you go long, then you go to the bathrooms, then you go down the stairs.
Yeah, classic.
They're doing the variation.
Ooh,
called the not Gob B.
He's tucked, he's waiting. Oh, he lets Grim cross.
What?
Double tap from Axile. Flashbang up and above. Nafany, 1 kill, and a challenge here from Stewie. And I like that. Nafany, a little passiveness just to allow his teammates to get into the bomb site. Stewie will drop him. Naf comes out from bathrooms trying to fight versus Truck. It's a little bit labored. And with 11 HP, the man's got a 1v3. What kind of wild antics? None in the pistol. Not for Naf. It's Gambit with the first round win.
Yeah, they decided to make it loud as well because now we're on map 3. They lost Vertigo, which is just a huge mark on their record, honestly. And such a confidence win for Team Liquid. They've just got to be jubilant about the fact that they're coming into Overpass in the first place. Maybe it feels a little bit bad that they lost Inferno. They weren't playing their best, but neither were Gambit. And I think both teams have kind of shaken it off a little bit and are looking a lot stronger now. Man, they're really testing this no-practice Team Liquid to its limits, making them play 3 maps in a series.
Let Liquid be the example that the key to success is to stop practicing together.
Yeah, you're all trying too hard. That's why you guys suck. Me too.
You know, NA, they've been trying so long now to like replicate the success of EU, right? We talk about this like pug style and the fact that people don't work together in North America. Well, just embrace it fully.
Listen, Liquid are the ones with 3 majors, okay? Gambit only have 1.
Yeah. Just the 1.
Of course, I was talking about the players, not the organization.
Yeah. It's still the comeback of, to me, like the best comeback ever has got to be Hobbit. The fact that he won that major and then all of those players just kind of hit the shadow realm.
Yeah, and then he got the sequel movie.
Damn. Nafany off to the side of dumpster, cut him down. No bomb plant for Grim, no sir.
People aren't picking Overpass that often, so it feels like they're coming up in deciders a little bit more frequently. And a 2-0 here for Gambit. But, I mean, now that we're on map 3, I feel like you get that wash away of emotions, and you can kind of reset for both teams and just like, whatever happened, it happened. It's over with. You're back on even terms. It kind of feels like map 1 again, but it all comes down to this. The emotions will be at an all-time high as we near the end of this match.
You told me coming into this that it was going to be a slow one.
Yeah, I mean, well, I feel like you look at the map and you say, okay, it's hard to say exactly, you know, if it's much actually bigger than some of the other maps, but one thing is for certain, it feels bigger, okay? And especially around the A site and the way that you have to scale through bathrooms, there is a lot of walk-in to do, and that doesn't mean that rounds can't happen fast. I mean, ironically, you have a map like Vertigo that ends up taking a long time because of, you know, how powerful the CT grenades are. On T side of Overpass, monster rushes are just as good as they've ever been. They still are a viable strategy. So get more of that heavier action, faster action towards B sometimes, but you can't really have a proper half unless you give some love to the A side as well. Play the game of pushing the CTs back and making sure they get punished for playing within it. SMG is very powerful on Overpass. Lots of different positions you can play with them comfortably. And in this round, they don't even upgrade any of the 3 that they have come out of the last round. It's Hobbit Nafni enters all with MP9s. And there is an element of CS that's the longer you wait, you know, the more likely it is someone's going to be a little bit harder, a little bit more alone. Oh my God, I was like, if they don't get that kill.
Yeah, that had to happen.
That was such an emergency rotation from Chiro. I actually can't believe he took that risk.
Axel trying to pop a flash for the bath peak. Got teammates coming, but it's a bit slow. Can he deal with this on his own? He's now got the player on truck to keep Naf pinned in, and Nafny's frag grenade finds him. A homing missile to clear the board, basically. Stewie 2K, all that's left, dead to rights. 3-0 start here for the CT side of Gambit.
Sometimes you look at Axel, you're like, man, I can't be like that. It's a disgusting rifling, dude.
Not gonna lie, man. I feel that way every time I watch Counter-Strike.
Yeah. Oof, that was a great shot from Chiro, too. To talk about players who are built different. I love that we're getting most of the Grim reactions on the right side, where you get all 5, and then you also get the punch-ins on him.
I love the way he squeezes air when
he's going through a lot. But you know what? Grim, one of Grim's best maps.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it was the map that he got picked up to Liquid because they raffle stomped MIBR. Remember that one?
Oh, yes.
Yes. And then on LAN, I think at his first LAN with Liquid, had a map 35 kills on Overpass.
Sign me up.
Didn't even go the full distance, I don't think. I'm going to go ahead and take a look at his take a gander at his Overpass stats.
We go digging. A little archaeology could help. Axile. Whoa! All the way to the moon. Holy hell. Fallen has his no gravity boots. I'm sorry, just my brain was not ready to process that.
That was whipping whimsical from that one. Gee, Wally Willikers. Jumping J Hosefax.
This is what's flying. Oh, I'm crying. Whew. That's the good shit. Stewie 2K, 40 health. 1v4. Breathe, Connor. Breathe. And so the 4-0 start is what Gambit secure. I know we have that queued for replay.
He's got great Overpass stats.
Look at this, man.
I actually was looking at the Overpass stats and I missed it. Wow. Yeah, he took off.
And it's a nice little anti-eco 3K. Okay.
Off into the bushes, into the tall grass to never be seen again.
Glad we got that out of the way. Let's focus up. We got gun rounds, and you've got stats to drop.
He just owns on Overpass. He's got really good stats. 1.15 rating all time. Let's see. This last year, they haven't played it too much, so I guess, yeah, in the last year, it's not been fantastic. We haven't seen Grim at his potential for basically the entire tenure on Liquid, which is the sad part, but some of his most standout maps, for sure, have been right here on Overpass. Yeah, there's an overtime game versus NIP, 35 frags from him at Cologne. big land match.
Shiro.
Actually, the last few times he played, it's not super hot.
You're selling lies.
But they beat Na'Vi.
That's true.
They beat Na'Vi on it.
That's true. That's worth its weight in gold. The Shiro Axile double bathroom setup, waiting for somebody to walk in. Who gets the fight, Shiro or Axile? And of course, the question is, do Team Liquid even feed themselves that direction? We get the challenge here from Nap through Monster, and in response, the smoke dropped. Utility for the CTs down to 1 smoke, 2 incendiaries. And 3 smokes for the execute here from Liquid. They've got short control and 2 players outside of Monster, not to mention Gabriel Toledo still sitting inside Con, so they wait. But now it's down to the crunch time. Now it has to happen, and it has to hit hard. Axile trying to hunt down Connector, catching Fallen, playing with nades. The execute comes through. Stewie taking off some pressure. 2 headshots from him, and he's looking for another one as Axile and Shiro are able to cut this back. It's Naf in the 1v2. 6 seconds to stop. Shiro connects the op, and we've got Gambit with the 5-0 start.
Super fast. Axile right now, instant transmission.
12 and 3.
Yeah, he's on A site, he's on B site, and he's a terror on both parts of the map. That's nuts. This was crazy. Stewie threw his mouse across the room to hit that one. Yeah, Axile just looks so sharp off the pistol than that first rifle round. Back in the days when Shiro and Axile were up-and-coming players, I looked at their overpass demos because they were like owning on overpass. So this is one of their favorite maps as well. They were such a powerful combo, the 2 of them over on A. You know, a infamous like 2B rifle op combo on the A site. A lot of the famous pairings in CS history that made their name on overpass A site.
Grim's burning. Gets away. Spam from Nafany just a second late.
And it's not always the case, but it can be a consistent feature that it's your very best rifler and your opper holding down A, which is enormous. And oftentimes, it's the rifler that gets left alone. And the rifler to support the op picks, but then just will hang around in bathrooms by himself. So it's got to be someone who's responsible. You know what I mean? You can't put any careless players inside of bathrooms.
Whoa. Look out.
One day they should spray paint it.
I'm still surprised it's a thing. The amount of nades it's interrupted.
I think they should put another one on the tracks.
Okay. Axile. Oh, Stewie's gonna fall for it. Oh, a second.
Dude.
Bro, he's not missing shots right now.
I'm doing the demo.
This is a straight up gun round, and Axile's just cutting down everybody around him. Nap's the only man left, and with such little HP, it's a 4K in from Axile.
I'm watching the demo for sure.
1 health left, 16 and 3, 6 rounds deep.
Wow, that's crazy. And it's not. These are all insane kills too. Like, this is mental. Time to kill is. This is why Shiro and Nafany couldn't stop talking about Axile. Remember that first interview? Nafany was like, "Oh, he's good at everything. He's good at CS. He's the smartest one. He has a girlfriend.
Yeah.
He's like doing school at the same time." That's Axile. He's a juggler.
And not like the weird clown type. Oh, looking for the op pick.
That was almost the Gambit logo.
It's right there. It's no one other than Inters. Ooh, Naf gets the wall then. Through smoke, must have been through the edge of the wall, just on the left side of it. First I thought it was through short, but that wouldn't have made much sense.
Inters is 0 and 1, and Axile 16 and 3.
Yeah, and this is real. This is happening. A stunning CT start, but also a stutter in the 7th. 5v4 here for Liquid, 50 seconds to the clock.
You know, the regulation kill record was set on this map.
Ooh.
I think it's 47 by config.
Lines up for Shiro. That's good for Gambit, starting to bring it back. Hobbit's got a multi-kill, 2 connected already. Shiro looking for his second, but it's Nafany instead to rotate down in time and catch that head ×2.
I thought everything broke.
That scared the hell out of me.
Okay. Well, I mean, the problem's done. Okay, they did the really smart thing, and they avoided the guy who was 16-3.
Yeah.
And then they just ran into a bunch of other top fraggers.
That was what Axile sees.
Yeah.
Just nothing but red at the moment.
Wow. Whose smoke was that? Actually, I don't know.
Not sure.
Didn't work for Liquid, though, that's for sure. Could have been a good one from Gambit.
Through the fire. Double Tech 9, double Deagle, and Scout. Axile, easy pickup. How dare you attempt it, Grim. Oh, next in line. Dies. Stewie 2K. Oof, barely gets it over the line. Shiro ready for that connector peek, but he falls back. So Axile is mortal.
And we like to talk about the game and the strategy and stuff like that. But when you got a match like this, it's good to keep count. Okay, Axile's 18-4.
Yes. And
it's 7 rounds.
Liquid have planted 0 bombs.
If you're watching CS for the first time, a 20 kill half is considered exceptional, and this half is not even half over.
Ooh.
Wow.
Mwah.
Body bags.
Quick snap to the forehead of Naf.
Man, they're getting zipped up right now.
Zippity zonked. Stewie 2K looking for that walk back, but see it. Anthony, oh, just shaves it off on top of Dumpster. Fun off angle and a double up. Nafany, he's also getting his name all over the place. Ahead of the A play and cutting down what was left of Liquid's pistol round.
204 ADR.
Holy moly.
How dare you do this to Grimathy? Hit 2 great maps.
And he's 0-8 now.
Yeah.
So how do you stop this from happening if you're Liquid?
You actually can't. And that's the beauty of Counter-Strike. The fact that if a player is in this mode and they have to peek you, you have to peek them at one point or another. If you can't kill them faster, they're going to wipe you up. And Axile's the kind of guy who can just snowball and snowball and snowball.
And just never stop.
And he's not going to get bored. He's not going to get complacent. He knows he's feeling it right now, and he's looking to just make a night of it. I mean, that is what's sick about Counter-Strike. Now, of course, there's things called utility and strategy and avoidance.
Yep.
Yeah, you could implore those, but it's 8-0 because, I mean, both sites are closed at the moment.
Let's see how much longer it can last.
It'd be way more fun if they try Axile, though.
Down to see if he gets tested.
Stewie's trying hard to prove Moses wrong.
It's Axile here towards long. Oh, Fallen takes 25 damage. Axile gets away unscathed. And Elige pushes up, trying to find the rifle fight. Nothing down towards this B site. It's the entirety of Team Liquid on the cusp of A.
They want that smoke.
But guess who's here? Axile peeks out, dies, empty-handed. That's what you need if you're Team Liquid. You've shut him down. It took 9 rounds, but a 5v4. Can the damage that he was able to deal to both Fallen and Stewie come back to haunt Liquid, though? That is still a question to be answered. We do get this lean up from Gambit closer towards the A site. Understandably, as Hobbit has seen absolutely nothing down on B. Nades start to go over the top. Shiro posted Elige right on that corner, but he turns, and it's perfect here from Liquid. They are able to puncture right through. Inter's 5 health, not nearly enough for anything more than the 1, and we have Team Liquid on the scoreboard. It starts by killing Axile.
I was a bit bedazzled by this whole Axile thing, but that was a nice round. That was some great flashes as well to help them get to the site. And the last tactic was perfect. The timings are perfect. Shiro was forced to turn his attention to bathrooms, right? And Elige made sure not to peek him at all. If that had gone the other way and Shiro still had time and held on to Elige and there wasn't that right amount of pressure, that could have got very ugly, but a good timing there for Stu.
a very good forward roll this round from Liquid, right?
Yeah,
They were able to get Axile off of that initial long peak, and it's not like they stutter-stepped through the bathrooms. They just continued with their crawl. Really nice pincer movement as well out from bathrooms, and like you said, they just overwhelmed everything.
But I like that they're
insta-kills.
Gambit are specifically tailoring this half now to Axile, where they're setting him up with these flash tactics and doing it multiple times. Like, why wouldn't you use this piece? You have so much in the tank at the moment where almost everybody's fragging, so like, I mean, Inters is 1 and 3. He just hasn't been a part of the game. Like, no one's dying, really. So put Axile up front. Let him take those duels. It's a solid strategy when he's in this form. But I think it's really important that Liquid win and look that good. You know, look that good as a team.
Sure.
That wasn't just outgunning every single player.
Yeah, if you're going to let Axile pop off like this, then also just catch your breath, let him kind of stutter out.
Something I've always loved about Glave's game and his calling style is if someone is having a great game, he won't shy away from it. He'll just focus the round around taking that player down or making sure they don't feel like they can be comfortable pushing, then go back into something else. They'll like almost prey on the overconfidence sometimes. So I kind of liked how Liquid were all grouped up there. All jokes aside, you know, like avoid Axile and whatever, but that's not a real strategy. You can do it some of the times, but the whole map still exists. You can't give one team half the map just out of pure respect. But they can avoid it sometimes and then really focus hard on stopping this crazy force at the moment.
See if they can do it back again. A still looking like the intended target. A little bit more pressure outside B this time. Naf floating around. We've also got Axile not alone on long. You know, last time he was the one who peeked into Fallen's op scope, tagged him with 1 bullet, and then fell back. This time it's Shiro who's posted, so trying to really counter this op play. Oh, but Elige peeks up front.
Wow.
Shiro just delivered a gift, and if Grim chases this too hard, then all of a sudden we've got Axile ready to rock and roll. Fallen's got the bomb right there. Axile, he's got to make a difficult decision. Fallen, I don't know if he's ready for it because of the way they played that smoke. Stewie, in the meantime, going to find the fight v Hobbit. Flash goes over top, and now they have seen the shoulder of Axile. Fallen knows. Oh, but Axile's so damn sharp. That's the bomb dropped, and Fallen left, stranded at a 1-9 score.
Yikes. I thought he was dead.
Dude, he blew his
he
head
showed
off.
himself a little bit.
And that brings Shiro back into the action. So now we've got this 2-man hit squad just sitting patiently and so damn sharp on top of this bomb. Naf will be able to edge his way just behind the wood, standing behind the old oak. 8 seconds left, though. There's no round win here for Naf, no matter what he tries to do. This is a 9th one from Gambit, and you can see the immediate change up here. Nafany putting Shiro on that scope, waiting for Fallen to try and duel.
It was a huge bait. It was a huge bait, and it was so well played. And they made a small mistake. They trusted the jump spot where Fallen was trying to see if the op shot would come through, but he didn't give enough. And it's impossible to tell from his perspective, you know, what he thinks right there. And there's a moment where it could have been shot at, but yeah, Shiro's holding it super tight. And then Axile almost gave it up by peeking and jiggling into Fallen after the first flash came out, even though the smoke came down the back of long. But again, he's just in that mode. And that's like one of those moments where you're like, you actually have a big advantage versus him. But right now, you got to be like, you got to be on your absolute A+ game.
19-5 is Axile.
Still coming.
Nafany, honestly, not that far behind him. 11-3.
No, he's been insane on B.
A couple of rounds he's rotated up, played on top of Dumpster as well, just catching people off guard as they round the corner from bathrooms. So a consistency to the success of Gambit. 9-1 on this CT side. And it doesn't feel like we're watching this half to see how well Liquid can do. We're kind of watching this half to see how far Axile can push it.
Yeah, honestly.
What is his limit?
That's why we're all watching the game, right? That's the hot story right now. Oh, bathrooms being approached on. There's no one from Gambit playing inside the bathrooms this round. And sometimes you've done enough, right, in terms of conditioning to say they're going to be afraid of you. They'll use the nades. They'll try to spend some time to take over top bathrooms. And if you're not there, then you just burn free time off the clock. The only thing you're missing a little bit is, you know, support on the A side itself. But I think Liquid are playing slow enough that that actually makes a lot of sense that they're doing it. And it's always gonna, it's got to be important for them to continue to be dynamic. I feel like Liquid are not so much working, just more so waiting.
Yeah.
But there's at least one more smoke that Axel has on the A site to re-smoke Monster. And I feel like the longer that there are no hints towards A, the more ready Gambit are going to be for this B site hit.
Here comes the utility over the top for Liquid, and a little misdirection.
Yeah.
Tons of nades sailing into the B bomb site. Axile on his own in A. Listen, we talked about his performance. Let's see if he can stand this test. He's got players wrapping all around him. He knows it. The audio's offered. Spotted by Long. He will fall to a leash. Grip, hands busy with bomb. Allows for Nappany to come off of the dumpsters. Hobbit peeks out from bank. 4v2. And Fallen, he's got this post plant to play with, but he's caught as he tries to fall into the cover. It's all about finding a leash, and Nappany sticking this 10-second defuse. It's done. That's 10 for Gambit off of the back of a rapid retake.
Wow, they just did that with only rotators. The fake, they didn't bite on it. I don't know how they got the info so fast, but they felt comfy that there was no one else coming. I don't know if they flash peek Monster. They held their grenades, but they had a couple of mollies out. Okay, here's Inter. Oh, man. Sharp whips Snapfly's wings, yeah. They did commit a person to the fake. Maybe they relied on him to at least find a kill there. Half a smile on Stewie's face. Axel back at it like asthmatics.
Kind of stuttering at 19 kills, but plenty of time. That's at least a bomb plant for Liquid. If that's enough of a silver lining. Oof, that is thick. Falling down to 53 off the back of the frag. So that just like, that has to just siphon confidence out of you. Like, you think you've got a good position, you think they're gonna walk into you, and then the nade just dunked on your face. Not to mention the flash, and then you give yourself away. Like, he was just countered in every way. Given nothing, and loses half. Never saw a soul. Meanwhile, Exile and Shiro looking to do their thing on this A site, although Long being underplayed. And Fallen trying to find contact versus this other op. Oh, the timing. Rough rounds. But shadow advantage not going to be a problem. Stewie 2K comes out on top. Shiro, misses his shot. And now the utility just falls all around him. He's got a rotator already nearby. That's Nappany with the 2K and a third. Again, he comes up just in the nick of time and sets Shiro up to succeed. 15 seconds left to the clock. Down goes Fallen and up goes Gambit. 10 rounds the lead.
Okay, I mean, now they're dealing with Axel, and then Nappany comes through with another 3 frags. He's at 15. Man, he's about to have a better score line than Axel. He's 15 and 4.
Just runs right through.
Holy hell. The problems don't end. I mean, the fact that it's rotators on the site. You take out someone like that, in the bathrooms, one offer on site. These rotations are so good from Gambit. They're there before the exec really gets underway. It allows them to not fight from CT, but like get into truck, get behind dice. Like, we'd only have 1 round. It was a nice round on the A side hit. It was a nice round. We could agree that it was nice. People say it was nice.
It was nice. Gambit's 11 were nicer.
Yeah, there was a few more for Gambit. It was a good round. I like that round.
Are there going to be any more?
The flashes. So, yeah. 11-4. Mark my words.
Okay. We'll see.
They figured Axel out. I had it all wrong. They got it. They got it now.
He's blinded. Plays in the side of the smoke. Oh, this is cheeky.
There's no way he lives this.
Yeah, Grim's not looking, man. Oh, but the springs. Not nice. And Shiro with the op shot. Well, at least that's something here for Gambit, because Yeah, Axile. We don't need to talk about that.
So overrated, that player.
Okay, if you look at that one moment, you're going to have a scuffed opinion compared to all the other things he's offered. So just forget about it.
Things change fast, you know?
Appreciate what you have while you've got it. Still 50 seconds. Stewie looking for that contact. Moving parts here inside this A site, and I feel like Stewie's lurking in.
He saw a gun. Yeah. He saw that long nose of the silenced M4.
Pinocchio over here. Meanwhile, Shiro just jump spotting. What? And he gets the Grim kill down on Long. Fallen able to trade it. Shiro with the pistol out, falls away into the bank. Settle down, man. Mollies sail over.
Mr. Muertos.
And that's an A site. Ready for Team Liquid. A bomb plant off the back of it. Pressure being applied towards Shiro. He's going to tuck in. Him and Inters both taking damage. Post plant could be good. Hobbit's dead. And that was the last player for Gambit who had significant HP. That'll be Stewie 2K on the side of Liquid. Everybody else walking wounded, and Naf still able to connect the headshot. Launder said 11-4.
It's coming.
11-2 at least. Unless A1S in hand. Time is of the essence. And it's not really there for him. So Shiro's going to have to concede it. At a 14-3 score, he falls back and dies to bomb. Goodbye.
Yeah, I thought he was being hunted. Wanted to become the hunter. Liquid, baby.
Talk us through that one.
It's another really solid A-side hit. And it started with the 5v4 because, you know, Axile's been one of the worst players in the last few rounds. So
Okay,
they took him out, and that's where I mean, that's where rounds are lost, right? You lose your star rifler in the bathroom. So that's something nice. We're still, it's half is so far gone at this point. I don't think Gambit are worried about it, but Liquid might be a little bit excited. Maybe. It's a lot of L's this game. Not sure. Maybe. So annoying that you get Axile and then Gambit and then Nafany. You know, that's too much for one day.
Yeah. And now Shiro's catching up as well.
Oh my gosh. Because Shiro has to get stats, right?
Yeah, he's just like,
he's
okay.
14-3.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Axile 19-8. Nafany 15-5. Shiro 14-3.
Axile has a 2 KD ratio at this point.
He's got a 2 KD ratio. Grim and Fallen have 2 kills.
Can't waste my breath on Axile these days.
Oy, oy, oy. All right. It's not over yet. Team Liquid, a little bit of life here. Try to snowball effect. Follow up. Oh, but Hobbit. Very quick fight off of the B site. And you know what? B's been pretty dormant for Gambit. We haven't really seen much over-facing. We haven't really seen aggression into short like that. But this round, it works out wonderfully.
Yeah, they kind of just stack it up and wait. And we've seen 1 or 2 execs go the way of B. But credit to Liquid. They have faced their fears right in the eyes. Run into A and actually seen a small amount of success.
Now just do it twice more. Win the pistol and come back. Easier said than done. But nothing's over yet. Got that long control, and it doesn't look like they want to play it this time, Mo.
Yeah, they'll toss it up. Now, the smoke at the end of long means that you got to be kind of close because a team can walk up on the T side and be aware of it. Feels like Gambit have the right idea though about just where they're playing right now. And then the op makes it more viable. Excuse me.
Got to fade away from the Molotov. This A site is stacked to the brim with CTs. And sure enough, Axile and Nafany kill a piece. Ali's going to come running in to try and trade. That, my friends, is a shutdown. 15 seconds left. You can see the pressure there for Liquid, but Gambit comfortable in their spots. Allowed for them to walk into the crossfire, and things look flawless after Hobbit established this early 5v4.
Yeah, that takes the edge off. It's pretty easy, but suddenly, yeah, this Nafany means just doing just as much. This is just nuts. Just want to know what he's thinking about. He's thinking about an ice cream he had the other day. It's the only thing that makes me smile like that.
Okay, we haven't seen a B rush. Let's go. When in trouble, duke it out. and enters. Well, finally he gets a chance to play a little bit of Counter-Strike. It's been 14 rounds of near nothingness for him, and he's able to add 2 before being dropped. Double man advantage here for Gambit. Final round of a half. What a solid CT showing. And obviously off the back of Axile's initial performance, yes, Nafany catches up. Yes, Shiro is right there, but it's a 20-8 half from Axile at the top of this scoreboard. Both teams popping off, talking a little smack, and we'll be right back.
No! I went for it.
Fast.
I'm gonna veto the one thing anyway that he's not, so I could just start. And I'll veto the op.
I would remove AK. So the first one who got 5 rounds, right?
Let's go.
Please don't go easy on me.
Yeah, you go easy on me.
I just woke up, I don't wanna lose.
Me
anyway.
too.
Need to know trajectory of these boxes. Is it live? No?
Yeah, it's live.
Oh, it's live. I didn't expect that.
You can laugh at me for that instead. Okay. Wait, how many like rounds per half? 4? Damn, literally the same thing I did to you first round.
That's not a lot of rounds. Hey. These boxes are so scary.
Yeah, they are. I just run every time I hear them.
Close.
Yeah.
No.
Come back. Starting now. From 2 to 4.
A 5-map win streak for Team Liquid, including victory over Na'Vi. That's what we came into this third decider map knowing. But what we didn't expect to see, Mohan, was a 20-8 half by Axile.
Can't wait till Na'Vi puts you in your place.
He said, can't wait till Na'Vi puts you in your place.
Yeah, well,
great.
need I remind you, Stewie 2K, your place is 13-2 right now. So...
Oh, man. I mean, they're the ones who have to go play not.
My big brother's gonna beat you up.
My dad could beat your dad.
Let's see it, Gambit. They walk into an empty B bomb site, or empty for the most part. Stewie's deep on graffiti, and insta-deleted.
Man, that's just that kill.
Insta-defeated. Avenue lies in the murky waters. 2 kills before being cleared out by Elige. And it's fallen in Elige in the 2v4 retake or Gambit 14-2 plus economy bonus. Ooh, this one ain't pretty.
It's like Gambit, we're holding on to their arm, you know, when they're falling off the cliff, but it's like your mortal enemy, but you're struggling with your humanity and thinking, I don't want to let this guy die. And then you just let go.
You just let him go.
And then Stewie yells, I can't wait till Na'Vi puts you in your place.
On death's bed. Stewie also the first to fall in this round. Dirty spot from Nafany.
Stewie won a major on this map. It was also an unlikely map to win.
Sounds to me like a big old dose of copium. And a cope.
You know I love my copium.
All the Liquid fans can do is hope that some kind of miracle can come in.
How did he hit all those bullets?
I don't know, dude. Nafany, double Mac 10 kill over towards the party. It is easy. Easy pickings for Gambit.
He's officially got a better KD now than Axal even.
Wow. Imagine surpassing him. Okay, I was going to say, Hobbit, please just...
It crossed his mind.
Just end him, Hobbit. Hobbit's a nice guy, so he doesn't pull out the knife. He just...
He is. He was like, I'm scared.
Oh, he's got the one in the open. Nafly able to answer. 5-7's up. 77 HP. He's done for. Gambit, 13 map and match points to continue this run in the upper bracket.
Upper bracket kings, Gambit.
At least Liquid are laughing.
They would not be laughing like this last month, and that honestly makes me so happy, you know? At least there's that. I think that's nice.
Ha ha ha, guys, our misery's almost over.
Wow. Shiro 16-3. Hobbit 14-4.
Final round, maybe. Double scout, auto shoddy, fallen, just wrecked by Nafany.
We have a new top fragger.
I am shocked by Nafany's ability to surpass Axile.
What a god.
I think he took Stewie's Harush a little personally.
Yeah.
He says, I'll show you Harush.
Harush. NT.
Alige up close, using the nades. That's going to be the audio cue. Nafany knows he's got one in the bag. Or so he feels. Ooh, look at this. Alige delivers his head on a silver platter. Stewie turns it back. And that's at least something here for Liquid. 55 seconds before Gambit end this map. I mean,
what'd you say?
Before the round ends.
What did you just say?
Sorry, I
just tuned out for 1 second and then you said that.
Excuse me. Here it is, auto shoddy. Come on, Naf, what can you do? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. That's what Liquid have to offer us here on Overpass. A 5-map win streak, a win over Navi, and it all means nothing in the face of this level of adversity. Gambit performing and then some. Stellar showing and start from Axile. Felt like he ended it before it ever got started. And then Nafany, well, he just takes up the reins, puts himself at the helm, and walks this one into victory lane. It is Gambit to continue in the upper bracket.
You know, let's say Gambit pulled off some crazy performance here at the World Final. It's a huge event, great teams and everything, and it would really shake up, I think, the top 20 for some of these players if they're able to play well. Same goes for everyone here, but proving themselves on land, right? Doing something massive on land is something that they want to continue to do, at least consistently, even though they've had good placing so far.
And we can't forget, you know, top 4 finish at the major. Huge performance for Gambit, and then these kind of stutters that come in after. Very comparable to Heroic, really, but taking it a step closer. And, you know, I always just think back to the fact that Gambit qualified for this event like 6 months ago.
Yeah.
Way before they had to go through these woes of returning to LAN. And all these growing pains have kind of held them back, but now they have hit the ground running. I'm going to hand this one over to James Banks as he gets some thoughts on the stage.
Hobbit. Oh my. Very, very convincing when it comes to Overpass. But I'll take